So yeah,
Oh,
last chance to change anything, but I guess we basically settled on this, right? Initially I wasn't too high on the surgical extractions. I talked to a couple more people, and they were like, "Yeah, dude, you should really play 3 or 4 copies." I think the list you sent me also had more copies of those, right? So those are actually the ones I'm
and
most
all
curious
four in
about to
the
see
main?
how they're gonna perform.
They were four in the main?
Yeah, there's 2 in the main, right? But I think the initial list you sent me had more in the main, right?
Yeah, the initial one had 4 in the main, and I think, or no, maybe it was 2. I think it might have been 4 in the main. Let me double check. But I remember like back playing, because I'm really worried about like Eldrazi matchups, how we win against the reshuffling. But then again, it doesn't really stop the reshuffling. It just would stop like possible
Yeah.
subsequent reshuffling. But maybe that's just too niche to
Makes
really.
it so that we have to mill them twice, right?
Yeah, no, we're probably not winning that one anyways.
I mean, there's a world where we can do that with brain freezes. If we get like brain freeze, then we hit Emrakul. Like we're probably gonna hit Emrakul or any kind of Eldrazi before we mill the entire deck, and then we surgical it. So we probably like on average only have to mill like 15 or 20 more cards than we would have to. I think the biggest issue would probably be their beatdown being too fast.
Yeah, because all they really need is like a Thought Knot Seer and or like a Reality Smasher, and things kind of get nasty.
Yeah, Reality Smasher is especially annoying, right? Because we can't fatal push it. I talked to a friend of mine who plays Doomsday earlier on our Discord, and he was like, dude, I don't want to play against you because Doomsday is probably like super screwed. Have you played this against Doomsday yet?
I haven't. I've never actually played against Doomsday ever. None of the guys, because I've never played online because I have a 10-year-old Mac, so I'm not really. I didn't want to try to use like a power PC or a virtual PC kind of platform.
Bootcamp and whatever they have, yeah.
Yeah, but I have a new iMac sitting right here in the box. I haven't even opened it yet. I just got that for the studio the last couple of days, but I'm waiting on a couple more pieces of equipment, like a battery backup system before I install it. So next month I'll have that much, going on, and I'll probably have gotten some games on MTGO before then, because I do want to start playing against more of a variety of decks, because the people I play with online on Spell Table, there's some variety. Most of the time it's like goblins, lands, Stoneblade, what is it?
So you wanna get your first match against Doomsday in by now.
Yeah, I want to get the first matchup in Doomsday for sure.
Let's see. So let's jump into our league and let's see how it's gonna perform then. So here's the league. I'm trying to remember whether I played Middle before. I can't remember it. I think I might have borrowed it from a friend. That was a while ago. I remember playing against Mill when I played Infect and Modern, and they were unfortunate in the sense that I had like two Becoming Mens, so they actually gave me enough fodder to get my Becoming Mens off with the dive like right away.
Yeah,
so
I think I think a lot of people underestimate maybe what Mill could do. People kind of see it as kind of like a meme deck in a way. And I remember playing against several of the people in the tournaments, and they're like, oh, and then I finally Mind Funeral from 20, and they're like, wait, am I going to lose to this Mill deck? Kind of funny.
Yeah, I was thinking if you play against actual dedicated control decks, they could actually struggle against this kind of plan. So would you say that actual control decks are the best matchups, or are there not any super polarized matchups?
Yeah, I would think the control matchups wouldn't be that bad. The combo decks, the faster combat decks, I think we're okay against because we have enough counters. It's just the aggressive control or the aggressive creature kind of decks I feel like might be too quick for us. Yeah. Just depending.
So, how do you like this hand?
I don't like that we don't have any blue, but we don't even have an island for days. If we break on the next draw, we're kind of far behind.
I would consider it if we were on the draw and we knew that our Fatal Push was good, but even then I would probably likely send it back. It's interesting because I was gonna replace the second swamp with another fetch land, But then I realized, okay, we have like Archive Trap and we eventually want to cast it, so we need 4 basic lands and then we can fetch an Underground Sea, and even if they have a Wasteland, they can't stop us. So I put back the second Swamp, but I guess this is a kind of hand which we would be able to keep just as a fetch land. But yeah, we're gonna send this one back.
Yeah.
Oh wow, this looks good, right?
Yeah, I like this.
So we gotta send 1 card back. I would be looking at the Fatal Push. I'm not, but I guess those 4 are basically a given, and then it's between these 3. And you said Mind Funeral was probably gonna be good, so I also like it's our game plan, right? So I probably keep these, and then it's between those 2. And I think I think we keep the Brainstorm there.
Yeah, I'd put back the Fatal Push and hope to maybe get like a turn 1 Archive Trap, turn 2 Glimpse.
So let's try that. So we're gonna play the Polluted Delta because we don't need the mana right away, and we can also hide from Wasteland that way. Have you ever killed somebody with Colosseum? That's basically the extra last 3 minutes.
Yeah, I thought about it for the very end. I haven't done that yet, but I'm waiting for the day.
So that's gonna be Thoughtseize. Oh, that's awkward. Because we don't really know whether Archive Trap is going to be good against them or not, but it's a Legacy deck, right? It's probably going to be good. So I would Brainstorm and Response. Probably fetching... I would probably fetch... Yeah, we gotta fetch an Underground Sea here, right? Because we want to be able to cast these, and Cephalic Colosseum doesn't give us any access to black. So, let's see. Let's show them a lot of... So we definitely want to cast Glimpse next turn, so I would put Glimpse basically on the very top, and beneath that I would probably put Mind Funeral, right? That's how I would do it, because we are not too sure. Like in order of power, I would rank Glimpse and Mind Funeral the highest. Archive Trap, we don't really know whether we'll be able to get it off or not, and these two we don't really care too much about. So basically Mind Funeral on the bottom and Glimpse on top?
Yeah.
So let's try that. They're in for a surprise, by the way. I mean, there's actually a world where we force of this. I'm not so sure. Because it's so hard to tell what they're playing, right? They didn't play a snow-covered swamp, so I would think they're not playing any kind of control deck. So right now I'm thinking it's either like a Turbo Depth version, or they could be Reanimator. The thing is, how do you like forcing this actually? Because if they're Reanimator, they're gonna take the Force of Will anyway, and we can't really do too much against Reanimator here. Like if they actually are Reanimator.
Yeah, if we Glimpse next turn, we're not even worrying about pondering next turn anyways.
Yeah, you know what? I want to try this. This also, it doesn't give away what we are just yet.
Yeah.
I guess it does once we get to our turn, because we glimpse them. That's a sorcery, so we just do that basically, right, for mana efficiency, because next turn we want a Mind Funeral.
And we didn't want to shuffle away the Mind Funeral anyways.
Looks to be some kind of let's see. Looks to be some kind of maybe Tinferns, Ice Station Zebra deck.
Although Massacre Worm doesn't look familiar to me.
Oh, that basically gives all of our creatures -2/-2, and we lose 2 life for every creature on our side that dies this turn, yeah. Okay, they get the Grizzlebrand. So how do we actually beat the Grizzlebrand? They won't have Force of Wills and stuff, so they're probably just going off this turn, I would think.
So if they draw enough, I mean, if they like straight up get an Iona out, we're just screwed. But I wonder if we can just survive 2 hits off him and maybe can take him out before then.
Oh yeah, if they don't kill us this turn, we can actually Mind Funeral them. You're right.
Because they're not going to have anything really, not much left. And especially if we can get an Archive Trap too, but you know, the dress is fine.
Yeah.
That would have been cool if we could have got an Archive Trap out.
Yeah, I was hoping they would do something like Entomb, which basically searches the library, and then we can do that.
Yeah.
But they already passed, so they're already discarding. So can our Mind Funeral hit 27 cards? Can we do it? I mean, it's not super unlikely, right?
It could happen. I mean, they run what, like 13, 14 lands? And we already have
something like that.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 lands already. So they have like maybe 6 lands left in their deck.
Yeah, they also might have some in hand. So, okay, here we go. Here we go. I want to see how this works out. So 27 down to, okay, 12. That's not good enough. Okay, they have Liliana in the main deck. They got Liliana, they got Animate Dads. They got Hymns, okay. So let's see.
We still have 3 turns unless they get something else out.
I was gonna say, I guess this turn they're probably gonna get a Grave Titan into play at the very least. Maybe more, but unless they have something that's, like you mentioned, Iona or anything with haste, then we're definitely gonna get another turn. And if that turns another Mind Funeral, maybe we can do it. Okay, they hardcast Grave Titan even. It's funny, they probably won't even draw extra cards. Okay, so we can draw extra cards here. Draw a card if a Caribbean has 20 or fewer cards.
If we draw into a land and Mind Funeral, I think we got it.
Can we actually make them draw? Oh no, we draw, okay. So, I'm just wondering...
We can get a land Mind Funeral.
Yeah. Ancestor Recall and Legacy, easy. Oh, we got another Ancestor Recall. This is getting crazy at this point.
Well, we have a blocker for Grave Titan too, if we did, but no, that's where we still die.
Yeah, they got 10, right? So that's just enough. But what if we draw another? There must be something we can draw. I guess we just draw 3 cards and then we figure it out. Oh, Surgical. Oh, that would have been so good, man. that would have been so good earlier on. Can we actually like Surgical something and reduce the library size? But that doesn't get us there, right? I guess we can actually run out Hedron Crab, and then we can mill them for 6, which gets them down to 5. But the Surgical is not going to remove 5 cards from their deck. I'm trying to figure out whether there's anything.
That was close, actually.
That was really close. Like, given that we're up against the combo deck, maybe maybe we're actually not gonna show them the Surgical because I think there's nothing we can actually learn from looking at the rest of the deck.
Yeah.
Is there anything we can find now?
Yeah, I think we lost.
Let's try. Yeah, okay, we lost. But we're gonna have a decent sideboard. We're definitely gonna have a decent sideboard against this kind of thing.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that was surprisingly actually pretty close.
Yeah, we helped them out by milling their Grizzlebrand. I don't know if they had a way to actually get into play otherwise at that point. I guess we couldn't see their hand.
All it took was just them entombing, and we would have had it.
So I'm lining up the cards that I'm considering here. Let me know if there's anything that sticks out to you, or if you wonder whether we should bring in something.
I don't mind the Brazen Borrowers.
Yeah,
but
they
I just don't know. That'll take a whole turn away from us.
So the Brazen Borrowers would basically, ideally they would bounce something like a creature that's put into play of Animate Dead or anything. The problem is they still get to draw the cards of the Grizzlebrand, right? They still get to draw 14 cards of the Grizzlebrand, which in a funny way is actually part of our plan, right? Because it also technically mills them for 14. So I would definitely consider those. I would consider the bridge because those Faraday. Yeah, Ashiok, I was wondering too. The thing about Ashiok is it's 3 mana, which scares me a little bit.
Yeah, it's
like right now, I'm looking at the bridge because thus far they've been mono black, and I guess they just are mono black. So maybe there's even a way that they won't be able to remove this. And if this just buys us something like 2 or 3 turns, that's already going to be good enough. The main thing I'm looking at right now is can we actually, what are we going to take out? Like definitely the fatal pushes.
The
right?
fatal pushes don't seem differently.
And then. The cages are interesting in the way that they can still hardcast their stuff because they have oh yeah, we need 3 more because they have Leg of the Dead. I guess Scheming Symmetry can... Yeah, Scheming Symmetry is a little bit scary. Just let's take out one of those, even though we're gonna mill them anyway. I guess actually, you know what, maybe we're gonna keep them. It's hard, man. It's hard. I like Visions. Man, we gotta cut 3 more cards.
What do you think about maybe a Daze or just all the days since we have the
I
force
think-
negation, or even the
I'm
mind
actually gonna
funeral.
cut the, yeah, because there's so much mana. And then one more card, and that last cut, there's not too many things. We're gonna take out one of those. And let's try this. I would love to keep the Mind Funerals, but in the end they're our most expensive spell, and we're up against a very fast combo deck. And I think they're already gonna put... Like, if their plan works off and they get to draw cards with Griselbrand, funny enough, they can't kill us right away because they're not like Black Red Reanimator. So I think we can actually like mill them pretty okay with this. How do you like this hand?
I don't like that it doesn't have any mill spells, but at least we can turn one ponder. But and we have
You know
a
what we
counter
should
maybe
have
to the
actually
first
cut?
reanimator. There.
Now that I think about it, sorry to interrupt you there, I think we should have actually cut an Archive Trap or two, because I didn't see too many fetch lands, did I? Like, I'm not sure. Maybe we should have done that.
Not too many.
So yeah, for this hand, I think I'm gonna keep it. I would keep it and consider something like a Visions of Beyond to pitch to the Force of Negation. And the Ponder is basically there to find us something like a Grafdigger's Cage or anything that... Like even a Surgical Extraction would be sweet, right?
Hmm.
I think the reason to mulligan this, like if we mulligan this, would be that we want to draw into Cage, which is better on the play, because then we can run it out and can't get discarded. But overall, with so many cantrips and a way to protect ourselves, I think that's something we just... Those are basically odds we have to take. There's also a world where we just draw like a days of this, so we can counter their discard spell. So let's try that. And we can freely fetch Underground Sea, because there's not going to be any wastelanding going on here. Yeah, this is just like 3 lands, definitely going to send that away, right?
Yeah, shuffle that.
Okay, and here we draw Surgical Extraction. Oh, we drew a card.
Oh, here we go.
Oh, man. I wanted that on the top of the library, actually. Because then they couldn't discard it now, but I think if they play a discard spell, I'm definitely going to force it, and then hopefully they're going to pass the turn. They kept 6, it looks like. Yeah. Yeah, the rest we just have to counter. Pitching the Visions of Beyond. Brainstorm's just going to be too valuable here. Oh, whoa, whoa, they're still going. Looks like they got the nuts. Maybe another discard spell. I mean, if your opponent Force of Negations or Force of Wills here discard spell, that's already pretty suspicious, right? They know that we're gonna have something. Okay.
Hey.
So, for as much as I want to play the Glimpse, it would probably help them out big time, right? So I think Grafdigger's Cage is the safe call here.
Yeah.
There's a case to be made for like brainstorming into Grafdigger's Cage, so we can actually use the Prismatic Vista, and I actually don't hate that. Because
Let's try that.
There's a word. Yeah, the thing is, we could draw protection for the cage. Like, I don't even expect them to have too many things to fight over the cage. But if we draw protection for it, that would be even better. Okay, so we didn't. Archive Trap. I'm having a hard time evaluating Archive Trap. The thing is, we could enable it with Scheming Symmetry, but we don't have Scheming Symmetry yet. And our visions are gonna be turned on rather soon with the Glimpse, so I would probably put away the Archive Trap and then the Ponder. Are you on board with that?
And just getting the cage out, shuffling those away. Yeah, I'm okay with shuffling those away and just having the glimpses just to hit. You know, if we can get that visions going, then we can get our fuel again.
Yeah, the Visions is just so cool. I like the card so much, man. I'm already, like, maybe it's just because I like the artwork or something, but...
It looks so cool in foil, too. That is really
you
cool.
got the deck in foil?
Well, not the whole deck, but just the Visions of Beyond.
Awesome.
Those look really cool in foil.
So, now I'm curious. I guess this is actually going to be a game where they're going to try to hardcast something from the way it looks. Oh, Liliana. Okay. Huh, so how do we beat Liliana? She's just going to go, like, plus, plus, plus. And for as much as I want to keep the Visions, I guess the plan is just going to be like hardcast Visions on our turn, then discard whatever we draw for the turn, and then hardcast Visions again.
Yeah.
Did I say Visions? I meant Glimpse. I meant Glimpse.
Oh, so you want to discard the Visions then?
Yeah. Basically, discard Visions, cast Glimpse on our turn, and then on their turn, they're gonna tick up again, and then we're just gonna discard whatever we draw, and then we're gonna cast a second Glimpse. And from there, we need to hit a couple more spells, because we'll only ever be able to cast a single spell against Liliana. Liliana's actually one of the cards where, what's it called? Brazen Borrower would have been better against, because then we could have also put pressure on her, bounced her, put pressure and stuff like that. Okay, so we're gonna hit them. They only have one card left, but wait, they have Leyline of the Void against us. Okay. So yeah, this.
That's interesting. They have Leyline of the Void.
I wonder. Maybe they thought we had some kind of death spells or something. I don't know. This is actually going to be a little bit rough from here, because we needed running good spells, and eventually they're gonna Liliana ultimate us. Do we play the brainstorm here? Trying to figure out what could be a line. Like, they don't have 20 cards in the library yet. I guess that the best thing if we play the brainstorm here is if we find a land, because then we can actually get to 3 lands, and that allows us to, well, it doesn't allow us to cast Mind Funeral because we don't have that in the deck right now. Nah, that's... I think we're in a really, really tough position here. Just trying to figure out what the brainstorm makes. I guess one reason to play brainstorm here is that we could get closer to something like Visions of Beyond, and then we can put Glimpse and Visions. Yeah, I think actually I like that. And then we're gonna hide Glimpse, and we're just gonna discard, like, whatever. I think we're gonna try that. Okay, oh, Hedron Grab Collection. Oh, I totally forgot about that one. So what if we put Ponder on top, and then Glimpse, and then we run out Hedron Grab, and then we at least mill them for 6, and they have to minus the Liliana, which gives us a lot more time,
I like
because
that.
the ultimate of Liliana. Yeah, let's try that. Because the ultimate of Liliana is basically what we're playing against, right? So we're gonna hit them for 3. And we don't... I guess they're gonna minus, but we can still wait, because I would actually like to draw the Glimpse the Unthinkable, but I also want to get 3 cards milled. So if they do minus, I think it makes sense to crack here. Even though we got a good card on top, but basically... We want to get really lucky, right? We want the 3 mil, and we want to draw a good card for the turn, and we gotta put ourselves in a position where we can actually get lucky by top decking something great and getting the 3.
Yeah, they already have. We already have 2 of the Grave Titans in their yard. They're probably playing 3 or 4. I would think.
Usually, yeah. Would be funny if they actually drew a Grave Titan. Actually, I couldn't probably cast it here, right? Yeah, sacrifice the swamp, so they have exactly 6 mana here.
5 or 6.
Yeah, so this one sacrificed the swamp for 4, but it doesn't need to be an untapped swamp. So let's see how that's gonna work out. Oh, each player discards a card. Oh, that's actually really good for us. Oh, so they are actually trying to get the ultimate off. So they are really playing towards the ultimate, which they can do next turn. Okay, so now I would say we're definitely gonna draw the Glimpse the Unthinkable. Right, there's basically nothing better we can draw.
Yeah.
So let's try that.
Yeah, if we can get into a Glimpse into a Mind Funeral.
But the Mind Funerals are in the sideboard, but the Glimpse would actually be the biggest thing we can draw. Yeah. So now we hit them for another 10. And next turn we can either draw a Ponder, or we're gonna shuffle away the Ponder if they... Oh, I guess... Okay, so... We don't know yet, right? So there's a chance they just give up Liliana. They basically, like, kill 3 of our permanents, or they plus her again. So let's see how that's gonna work. There's another Grave Titan in the graveyard now. Oh, there's 6 mana.
There.
Oh! Look at this guy. But depending on what we draw, it might actually be too slow for them. Oh, and they're going for this. Okay. So, I would say we definitely take the extra 3 mil. And from there, we're basically gonna... It's been a while since I split a Liliana. Okay, Okay, here we go. So extra 3 mil on these.
I mean, we could keep the crab out just as a blocker for the Titan and buy us some more time.
Yeah, I like keeping the crab. Oh,
But
actually,
that
by the way,
just
they
leaves-
separate. Yeah.
Oh, they
So-
separate you.
Yeah, I'm just gonna reread, like, we pick the pile. That player sacrifices all permanents in a pile of their choice. Okay, so we can either keep this pile or that pile. So... I like keeping the pile with the crab, yeah, that's a good point. Because the cage, I mean, yeah, it gives them some top decks, right? But they only have 1 mana left, so they can't even animate that. And
Yeah.
you're already losing to
Yeah,
the
I'm not
Grave
worried
Titan eventually, right?
now. Yeah, we want the crab, I
So-
think.
Oh, parents. Yeah, so we're gonna sacrifice this. Okay, so now if we draw something like, I don't know, well, even a fetch land would mill them for 6. Oh. Oh, they have Helm of Obedience, by the way, in the graveyard, so that's why they had the ley lines.
That's
Okay,
what
that's interesting. So now
This
I'm
is an
actually like
interesting
looking at that deck, and I'm trying to figure out whether there's any 1-off in the graveyard that might be a 4-off in the deck. So because then we can basically
Ritual,
mill for 3 more.
Thoughtseize, I see 2. Maybe Duress.
How many Duress? Yeah, Duress would probably be a 4-off. Well, they also have Thoughtseizes, right? Take their swamps while we we cannot take basic lands. That card would
That
be
would be
pretty amazing. Like technically we could
They might
wait
run
if
4 Hems. They might run 4 Him to Torak. Maybe not 4.
Oh, they might actually run 4 Lotus Petals. And oh, there's another one in the graveyard. So we can like take a near guaranteed mill for 2. Or we can take... I wish they would actually like order this. But I mean, that's not how it works. Ley lines. Ley lines should be a 4. Oh, there's another ley line. Does chat see any 1-off? No, I think there's no 1-off left. Is there a Grizzlebrand? There's no Grizzlebrand. What
There's
happened?
one
Oh,
there.
there's a Grizzlebrand. There should be 4 Grizzlebrands in the deck, I
So
would
we
think.
think that, yeah. I would think so.
We're just gonna pay mana and we'll see. Okay, we got this one and where's the library? Oh wow, they actually took out all the Grizzlebrands except for one. So they, oh, this is so interesting. Post-board, they are actually a Grave
They
Titan
did
deck,
have 4.
and they actually, yeah, it looks like, I guess, oh yeah, this is interesting. They got this one as well. So yeah, the bridge would have been really good against them. Like the only way for them to beat the bridge would have been the Liliana ultimate, and even then we can just like elect to keep the bridge. Interesting. So here we're gonna take 10 damage, and I think the only way we can even get close to now is if we draw Visions from Beyond, and that's gonna give us like a fetch land, which is another Mal for 6.
Oh, yeah.
Graphic is good. Okay, so they already got enough of those. Okay, so we lost this one, but I guess any kind of reanimator would already be a hard matchup to begin with.
That is interesting. The Helm, I never saw a straight black running the Helm of Obedience.
Yeah, it's sometimes a bit of a budget choice, this kind of deck, but it's actually quite smart if you go for the plan that really doesn't rely on your graveyard all that much post-board. I'm not even sure if we actually saw any kind of reanimation spells now that I think about it. Post-board.
Just the animate dead. Oh yeah, post board. I don't think I did either. Yeah, they totally swapped it up.
So post-board, they were actually a deck that's really trying to use Lake of the Dead, and I guess they had Dark Rituals. And that's super interesting. So,
And then yeah,
here
everything.
comes the control deck, hopefully.
Yeah, I'm excited to see the control matchup, how that'll go.
Yeah, I want to see them struggle.
Yeah.
Like when we search the extraction, they're Uro, and they're gonna be sitting there, and they're gonna be like, oh, I can't deal damage to you, but I have all these counter spells. Like, yeah, we're just gonna grind you out with our crap or something.
You get killed by a crab. I'm gonna use a restroom real quick while we're waiting for this next match.
Oh yeah, sure. I just found an opponent, but I'm just gonna wait.
Okay, I'll be back 1 sec.
Awesome.
All right, I'm back.
Okay, so we're on the draw. How do you like this hand?
I don't like it so much on the draw. Not knowing what we're up against. I mean, I'm hesitant to mill down to be aggressive milling because I just feel like we want to be maximizing on how many cards we have just because we're kind of playing the longer game. But
so
I would put it back.
Okay,
I wouldn't mulligan this.
Oh, you wouldn't mulligan this, you say?
I would mulligan this.
Oh, you would? Okay, so I think I want to keep this one because the way I think about the deck is that it's similar to Burn in the way that we gotta use our resources to basically fight against an arbitrary number, like in our case 60 cards, or usually it's probably gonna be enough if we mill like 40 something. And if we mull, then we're just inherently gonna have less resources to do that. And the visions are like awkward, right? But we at least get to cycle them. So we have one of our best mill spells. We got rather solid basic land based mana to get there, like at least for the first two. And if the opponent has something crazy that they might be doing on the first turn, we do have a Force of Will with a pitch card that doesn't hurt us too much. So that's why I basically want to keep this.
Yeah, let's try it.
Okay, let's try it.
Yeah, mulliganing is one of the things that I really am not that, I don't feel like I'm that great in.
Yeah, I think it depends on the deck, right? If your deck is capable of recouping the card disadvantage, then it's easier to mulligan. Oh, that's interesting. Oh god, they might be killing us pretty quickly.
Burn was a tough matchup when I was playing this like at the store. Burn was because they got to count to 20 when we were counting to 60.
Yeah, pretty much, right? So I'm when you play against Burn, usually like the thing you want to Force of Will is the thing that's on average gonna deal the most damage to you, and it's usually like between something like Price of Progress, depending on which deck you play, or Fire Blast. But I think in a situation like this, where we don't know whether we will find Fatal Push, this
might be like 8 damage over the course of turns.
Yeah, that's why I really want to take it out here. So let's see. Also, by the way, Burn, another deck that might not have fetch lands, which could be a problem, but we'll see. I'm playing the Mystic Prismatic Vista here because I'm pretty sure we're gonna run out as many basics as we can, and at end of turn we're just gonna cycle the visions anyway. Okay, they suspended Riftbolt. And now, yeah, we're basically just cycling this, right? Because... Actually, what if we keep it... Now that I think about it, I actually don't hate keeping it, because we got the Mind Funeral, and yeah, we're not going to use our mana next turn, but maybe this is one of the few ways we can actually win the game. But you said... on
we can
average,
get lucky off it.
Yeah, on average, I would think this mill's like 12, right?
Yeah,
Maybe
earlier in the game.
Does it actually change?
Well, we're definitely going to live to
the ratio of lands to spells should usually stay the same. Actually, it's getting slightly, well, I guess better for us later in the game, because people use fetch lands, which basically counts like 2 lands out of the deck at that point. But against a deck that doesn't play fetch lands, the ratio of spells to lands should always be the same, so this should, on average, always give you the same kind of value, I would think. So, yeah, you know what? What if you just, like, keep this? That actually, I don't hate that. Oh man, too many lands. Too many lands, we really need a brainstorm here.
Yeah, if they go like Eidolon here, that'll be kind of frustrating.
Yeah, because that also... Oh, there's a fetch land. Okay, Swift Spear. So I think I'd rather keep the visions in hand. Like, there's a very off chance that we hit an archive trap here, but it's really unlikely. And if we get lucky off the Mind Funeral, then we can actually convert the visions. Why don't we start with 40 life? Or maybe we should start with 60 life as well. That would actually be fair. Okay, so here I'm actually fetching right away, because we already know that we're gonna crack this one. So usually like people heavily overestimate the effect of thinning a deck, like super heavily overestimate a deck, the effect of thinning a deck. But if you know that you're gonna crack that thing anyway, then you might as well do it. Oh god, this is gonna be bad.
Yeah. You could take out
but
lightning bolts.
Lightning bolts. Yeah, ideally I'd want to do it without playing live, right? If I want to do it next turn by casting it for a black mana. So maybe, yeah, I guess we just Mind Funeral them here, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we're gonna, I would pick up basic island here, just because we are gonna probably need more blue with the visions. So let's see how that works.
Yeah, I don't expect this to hit for very much.
What? A little bit.
15.
So they were on 4, and that's, yeah, it's 15. That's pretty much average, right? So if we knew what was in their hand, like, it would be so sweet if we knew they had like 3 lightning bolts in hand, we could like surgical that away. But yeah, next turn our visions are actually gonna be turned on. That's really cool.
Yeah, I've thought about trying to squeeze in some discard just to help buy a little more time, but I don't know. I had some trouble really kind of trying to squeeze in everything I really wanted in here. I feel like I sometimes try to jam too much.
Yeah, the thing is, like, if you're at discard, usually you're taking out some of your cards that are actually gonna do the business, gonna do the dirty business of milling them. Unless you remove something like, I don't know, yeah, I guess surgical, but surgical, initially I wasn't sold on it, but now I'm kinda sold on it, if that makes sense. So I'm not.
Yeah, I just use it as a way to take out. Yeah, to take out their outs. After we can get like even one mill spell off, if we can take out their biggest threat, that just reduces their top decks. But on a deck like this, it's not going to really, they have so much redundancy.
Upside is we actually get to Ancestor Recall now. So let's see what we can find here.
I did think about on the board maybe trying to maybe put Leyline of Sanctity, but I don't. I just don't know if that would be, because you pretty much would need 4. That's too much of the sideboard to devote to that.
I don't hate it. Like, I think I'd rather have something like a Flusterstorm because it's much more flexible. Like, Flusterstorm also counters some of the like combo decks, stuff like that. It also counters some of the discard. So yeah, I think at this point we just gotta draw 3 more cards, right? That's our best card we got. And we
did we already make the land drop?
No, not yet. Oh, so we can actually brain. Okay, so is there any way we can brain freeze for enough? I guess if we could double brain freeze, but we played 2 spells. We can play a surgical. We can play a daze. That gets us to 5. So we can actually mill for 15 here, get them down to 19, but that's barely not enough. Also, if we surgical, we just die, so we can't do that anyway. that would kill us. If you want to cast a brain freeze on the same turn. Yeah, I think they were just too quick for us. So we got one more shot, actually. Assuming their hand is like nothing, and we can find Fatal Push of the Underground Sea using the Ponder. So I think we should try that. So he can find Fatal Push here and take this out, and they really got nothing. Then there's a bird. Okay, the Hedron Crab could have blocked if they had nothing. But yeah, we gotta find the Fatal Push here. Just Fatal Push? No. So at this point, I would really just randomly take something out of there. Actually, no.
Just see if they have any extra spice in there. Yeah, although they're probably pretty straightforward.
Maybe we can hit something that's in their hand, right? Maybe. It's probably not Fire Blast because they would have killed us with Fire Blast last turn. They played Exquisite Firecraft last turn. There's a chance they still have like a... probably not a Lightning Bolt. Maybe a Rift Bolt. There's a chance they have a Rift Bolt, Or Chain Lightning. Is there a Chain Lightning? The thing is about...
There's one Chain Lightning in the card.
Okay. Yeah, it's pretty much... It could be... Let's try Chain Lightning then. Wait, where's the hand? I cannot see the hand. Oh, they have better murder.
Oh, yeah,
the Firecraft just kills us. Okay, we can't even counter that. Okay, here we go. So we got the Hyroblasts. Hyroblasts are gonna be good. definitely. Sphinx Tutelage, no. Like, I could see a world where we have Force of Negation. But we probably just gotta be faster. Like, we're probably gonna take out the Surgicals, right? They're just... Life loss is a big issue. They showed us fetch lands, so maybe the Archive Traps are actually gonna be turned on. And like you mentioned, the matchup seems to be not that good for us, so we probably gotta try to get lucky, so I'd rather have the Archive Traps available, even though they're probably like not playing too many fetch lands.
And we still have the Scheming Symmetries.
To turn them on, right? Yeah, that was the initial idea. So let's take 2 of those out. And I kinda, like, it's so awkward. You could bring in Force of Negations against this kind of deck. But that really only works if you yourself are a combo deck and you can kill them in like one whoop. The thing is, we are really like a critical mass deck. We are basically, like you mentioned, like a burn deck. They have to count to 20, we have to count to 60. So if we use like 2 cards to stop one of their burn spells, even though it could be like one of their I'm not even sure what the best burn spell against us would be. I guess Fire Blast. And I don't think I want to spend 2 cards on countering a Fire Blast.
Yeah, I would, if anything, I would use that on like an Eidolon or something that's going to, be attacking as well as having us burn ourselves too.
Yeah. That's why we got the Force, right? Eidolon would definitely take out. But we can't hit an Eidolon with the Force of Negation. That's why I'm not too high on it. I think if it could count creatures, then I would consider it for sure, yeah.
I would see maybe taking out the Mind Funerals in this case. Just because they're...
Yeah, I think there's nothing we want to bring in, though. Is there anything that sticks out to you that you want to bring in? I'm not sure.
Not really. Yeah, I mean, if anything, I would run with that.
Somebody in chat's asking, by the way, do you see Wasteland as a viable inclusion for Trap? I think there's, like, strategically, there's no real connection between the two, right?
I used to use Ghost Quarter to push the fetch or the search for Archive Trap. But then I ended up being like too low on lands. Like I ended up not having enough mana when I needed it when I started using the land destruction.
Mm-hmm. Awesome.
But it was kind of cool because the Ghost Quarters were helping. I like this hand.
Yeah, this is probably the best hand we've had thus far. So let's see. Getting basic here and then probably pondering just for a second land.
Mm-hmm.
Like we'll probably easily find a second land without like our visions and the brainstorm. So if we find like a good mill spell, I was gonna say if we find a good mill spell, I might actually like not shuffle this, but this is so we could go like set it up in a way that we can cast Hedron Trap next turn, but that actually doesn't help us.
We don't have any lands, yeah.
Yeah, we gotta send this away because the Mind Funeral is also too much mana. Okay, there's a land. So generally, I think the way the deck is currently built already means that we are like rather light on actual mill spells. So okay, I think we gotta daze this. This is probably the best value we're gonna get for the daze. This is gonna deal us a ton of damage, right? And we're not looking to cast anything important on the second turn. So yeah, like I said, the deck already looks to be rather light on actual mill spells, which is why I was a fan of the Brain Freeze when we worked on the list. Because I feel like Brain Freeze is probably one of our best mill spells that we can actually have. Because the way the deck is constructed, right, with a lot of free spells.
Yeah.
If we went a different direction, cut the dazes, then I also wouldn't be too high on the brainstorms. Another one of those. You know what? I think we are just gonna counter this as well, right? These creatures usually represent too much damage. It also looks like, oh, they don't have a second land.
That's good.
Oh, this is interesting. So we can actually, oh my god, we can double Mindbreak Trap them, right? Am I reading this correctly?
Yeah. That's great. I love
Let's
that.
try that. Oh man, this is gonna be great. This is gonna be great. And we even get to make it so that they put their best card on top and then we're just gonna mill that. Oh, choose target player. Actually, I've never played the Spell of Magic Online. Choose 2 target players, each one of them. Okay, cool. So, opponent and us. We're gonna find our best spells and we're gonna put them on top. And our best spell is gonna be Archive Trap here. So, you got Archive Trap. And this is gonna be good. Mill for 26.
I don't even have to reveal either. It's cool.
So, now we brainstorm them. You know what? They probably put a land on top now.
If we find 2... Yeah, if we pull that move and we can find like a 3rd Archive Trap, that would be awesome.
Have you ever like quadruple mindbreak trapped somebody on the first turn?
Yeah, I've triple, and they're just looking at me like, what?
That's amazing, man.
Now we visions next turn and we were killed.
Oh,
cool.
And they already lost some of their red elemental blasts as well. That's sweet. Okay, who's the burn deck now? Yeah, this one, I guess we gotta let this one slide. Like, if the burn deck only starts dealing damage to us on the third turn, and that's only 1 point of damage, I think that's gonna be okay. Yeah.
And they still didn't make a second land drop.
I think here we actually gotta shuffle, because we already know that there's another polluted delta on top, and we really don't want to draw that one. So let's just get a... I guess a basic swamp makes sense. So we can play a little bit around Price of Progress. Okay, now
I love those visions.
Oh, yeah, Visions is amazing.
I love those visions.
I think Visions is really important to make the deck work, because like I mentioned, right, we are somewhat low in actual business spells. And Visions is the card that ties the deck together in the sense that once we fire off our first 2 mill spells, then we can actually reload.
What do you think about...
Yeah.
Never mind, I think we're still good on life.
Yeah, you meant about forcing the lava spike.
I was thinking about it, but I think that's more important for like the
basically
payoff.
+2 life, right? And I think we can do better than that. But
Yeah.
this card certainly makes it a little bit awkward. So how would you sequence those cantrips here?
I would ponder off this, because we're on our main phase, right? Yeah, I would just start off with the ponder and see what that finds. But then we might brain lock ourselves.
Yeah. Yeah, I
let's
like
start with the brainstorm.
Yeah, I like trying the brainstorm first. And then if that's a lot of crap, okay, so the daze is probably gonna be really good because it's gonna hard counter something. So I'm definitely gonna keep the daze, and I wonder whether we actually send away both Force of Wills. I don't know if that's crazy. Is that crazy? Like, I don't hate sending away both Force of Wills. Like I said, we're like a critical mass deck, and the daze is gonna hit something. They're down to 13. The other way we could do it is we send away the polluted delta, which maybe we should because it's a life loss. Like, we could send away 1 Force of Will and the polluted delta, and then ponder shuffle.
Yeah, I was thinking of force and delta.
Yeah, that's. Oh, chat is mentioning, by the way, we should actually check out how many Fire Blasts there are left, because that's the card we're actually scared of. 1, 2. Okay, so there's a chance they actually... You know what? There's actually a good chance they have Fire Blast 9, so we should definitely probably keep like a Force of Will. That's a good point. So let's send away Delta and Force, and then probably use the Ponder to shuffle. Unless, I guess, we find Mind Funeral or something. Or just find Mind Funeral now. Also, it's interesting to keep tabs on how many exquisite firecrafts there's left. So there's like 1, 2, 3, though there's only maximum 1 more left in the deck or in the hand. Okay. I don't hate the brainstorm. I don't hate the delta, because the delta is also gonna allow us to well, there's only two archive traps left in the deck, right? So maybe we just shuffle.
I would shuffle that and just hope to get a payoff.
Yeah, I think it's close, but yeah, the chance that we get a payoff spell is going to be good enough. Okay, the Cephalid Breakfast, by the way, are there any Price of Progresses here? Because if there's not, then I'm definitely going to run out the land, right? Do you see any Price of Progress? There shouldn't be any.
I don't.
Yeah, I think we're pretty safe to run out the Cephalid Colosseum here. So basically, the Colosseum makes it so that, they draw for the turn, that's 12, Colosseum would put them at 9, and that means we really only gotta find like a glimpse or something. I think we can do that. Oh, there's a fetch land, okay. Is it Eidolon? Oh, it's Lava Spike. Okay, that's actually already gonna be a lot of damage here. Okay, interesting, they already tapped, so I guess they're gonna cast
Fire Blast.
I think I would let this resolve. And then if they cast something, then we can still daze that. And if they have Fire Blast, you get Farcical with Brainstorm. Like, I'd rather keep the Brainstorm in hand, but in that case, we would probably like just need to do it. And then if you draw... Yeah, I agree. And then if you really don't draw anything for the turn, but we feel we gotta find something, we can always activate the Cephalic Colosseum.
So that one we daze.
Yeah, I'm wondering whether we hardcast daze. The life loss is probably too much. We're already going down to 6.
And we don't really need 4 mana for... I mean, I guess that could be like a double... I guess it wouldn't even be... Because if we Brainstorm and try to get like a double glimpse, we still don't have 4 mana.
So let's try this. We're going down to 6. Okay, Crab. Crab mills them for 3, and this mills them for 3, so we already got like 6 confirmed. So what if we find a fetch land here? No. Actually, Crab can block for a turn as well, right? That's a big deal. So... I think we still Brainstorm first, right? Because there's a chance we find Mind Funeral or something. I wonder if they actually have Fire Blast in hand and they're considering Fire Blasting now. Okay, do we have... Oh, we can actually draw... Oh, I think we got them, right? We got them. We got the Scheming Symmetry into another Archive Trap. We still have enough Archive Traps left.
We should be able to draw on one of them, yeah.
Yeah, with the visions. So what if you put back... Let's not fuck this up. Let's also keep the Force of Will if we can. So we put back, like... the island and the Fatal Push, right? And then we Scheming Symmetry, both players. So what they still can try to do is to kill us on their upkeep if they have like 2 burn spells. And I mean, we got 1 counter spell, but let's see how that's gonna work. There's like no way we can actually make them draw a card with this deck, right? Okay. 3 cards. And okay,
there we go.
For 0. Yeah, they can still kill us on their upkeep. It's not over yet. It's not over yet. If they have like 3 burn spells and a Fire Blast, we are dead. But let's see. Okay, they didn't even set a stop on their upkeep. Okay, awesome. So we can actually see their entire deck now. Do you do that in paper tournaments if you mill somebody entirely? I guess if they concede, then they have the right to just pick up the deck.
Yeah, I mean, I don't usually look at the whole deck like, you know, like an end game surgical just to see what they have. Usually I'm just keeping track of their graveyard and kind of keeping a mental note of what they got in there. I do got to run out for my family for about 5 minutes, so just go ahead and keep going. I'll be back as soon as I can.
Awesome. Okay, so we're gonna try to play this rather slowly. Wait for Kevin to come back. So how is everybody in chat doing? You guys like Scheming Symmetry? Man, that card is so absurd. I found that on the source. There were Fire Blasts. There were at least 2 Fire Blasts in the sideboard, in the graveyard. I don't know if there were. That deck should probably be running 4. Like this kind of deck always runs 4, and I saw 2 in the sideboard and the graveyard. So yeah, I wasn't even aware of this card, even though we previewed it on Everyday Eternal, or rather talked about it. We don't get official Wizards previews. Anyway, and that's kind of synergy between Scheming Symmetry, a cantrip, and Archive Trap. That's insane because it also negates the drawback of Scheming Symmetry. Like it doesn't negate the drawback, which means like -1 card, but basically think of Scheming Symmetry and any kind of cantrip as like a force effect that mills for 13, which probably could be good enough. Oops. But like I said, it's interesting whether there's gonna, like, how we're gonna work the new crab into the list, because I think the new crab is actually good. The crabs actually get me really excited thus far. They often represent something like a mill for 6 for 1 mana. It's like, what more can you ask for? And if you go like turn 1 crab, turn 2 crab, and then you mill them for 12, if they can't answer the first crab, which half the format probably can't. I've almost lost games against Hogak, where Hogak just like craps me out, and that's not even a mill deck. So yeah, this is like one package. The free spells, the forces, the archive traps, the dazes, the surgical extractions, which are on the sideboard now, plus the brain freezes. Actually, I really like how archive trap also enables brain freeze, but that's probably like more of a rare thing. Well, then you came to the right stream. Crabs do get me excited. I also like that we have the Hydroblasts, even though the opponent also showed us a lot of Pyroblasts when we milled them. So we're letting the time run out here for Kevin to come back. And I think thus far this is basically how we want the deck to look like. I could even see the Liliana's Triumph maybe. But let's see. Have you guys ever been to the Christmas Islands? They got like the big crab migration on the Christmas Islands where at some point the crabs, they just like walk all over the island. I wish this wasn't instant. Actually, no, it wouldn't work if it wasn't instant. Wouldn't enable the archive trap actually. I guess it. Nah, not the one we look for. Oh yeah, eating crabs. That's another one. Chat. While we wait for Kevin to come back, what do you think about this hand? You like this hand? I think it's close. Oh, we're down to 8 minutes, by the way. Okay, let's not run out of time. I think I'm gonna let it run down to like 8:30, and then I'm actually gonna start playing. Yes, this is pretty brewski. But dude, this kind of synergy, that's actually amazing. We just won the second game just off the back of this. So yeah, I think I'm gonna keep this, but it's should be. Yeah, I'm gonna keep this, but it's incredibly close. Oh, Goblin Guide. So what Goblin Guide actually allows us to do is to use our fetch lands basically as scries. Yeah, the reason basically we're keeping this... Okay, well, we can't make multiple of these work. The reason basically we're keeping this is that we're a critical mass deck, and when you can, you have to avoid mulligan with that kind of deck. And we have Brainstorm, and we already have like, we have this which represents, like we have so many great outs, right? Brainstorm would probably be the best because it allows us to get rid of extra lands. And we already have this lined up, and if you find Brainstorm, like Brainstorm this and this is an insane combo. And we gotta get lucky. Like the matchup is really bad, so we gotta get lucky. And if we mulligan to 6, that just decreases our critical mass. And there's really not any kind of like curve that we're looking for, right? Okay, what else? There's a Hydroblast on top. Do we want to draw the Hydroblast? Yeah, I think with this kind of hand you are forced to keep most hands, that's true. Do we want to draw the Hydroblast? Okay, too many scheming symmetries. I think with this amount of scheming symmetries, we probably gotta aggressively look for cantrips. Also, by the way, oh no, I didn't miss this. I was like, wait, when did they fetch? They fetched this turn. So yeah, we're just gonna do this. So now that I tapped out, they also can't Hydroblast. I should have probably done this in response to them using the fetch. Another upside is technically you could mill all their lands and then they can't fetch anymore. Like, it's super unlikely, but it's good to keep that in mind. Okay, Surfer Vortex, interesting. And yeah, here I am gonna fetch on my upkeep because the Hydroblast would be okay, right? But I think we gotta find a cantrip. Just so we can keep the symmetry engine going. Oh, okay, that's good, Pabello. That's actually a good point. I can only do it after the fetch. So yeah, Brainstorm. Brainstorm would be insane. Brainstorm would be the nutter butter. This is probably one of the best Brainstorm decks in the format. Okay, Visions. Okay, Visions. So Visions allows us to archive trap. The thing is, if we can like avoid that. Yeah, so what we're gonna do here actually is we're just gonna pass. And then on their turn, we're gonna Brain Freeze them once they've played a spell. So we can actually get a bigger Brain Freeze off. Okay, they fetch, that's fine. I think that's probably gonna be the thing for 3 mana, Exquisite Firecraft or something. So then we're gonna get Archive Trap on top. Oh, we can actually draw into that with Visions. Oh, but we don't have enough mana. 2 Visions and Brain Freeze. Oh, too bad. Too bad. But... okay, you got that. Yeah, they fetched. The problem is the Visions isn't for 20 yet. The Vision isn't for 3 yet. Okay, Battle and Reveler. So now the Brain Freeze is actually gonna be like not too bad. Yeah, it's worth it. So we're gonna do it like this. We really gotta hope that we're gonna survive, by the way. Like, there's just like too many things they can find here. They can just like find extra Fire Blast. Okay. So this hits them for, I think, 9 if I counted correctly. Same targets, same targets. Okay, so now we can actually hit the... oh no, come on. Can we actually kill them here? Can we kill them here? We can Scheming Symmetry into Visions, into double Archive Trap. And... oh no, they have cards in hand though. Okay, we gotta hurry. We gotta hurry. Hopefully they don't see the line. Hopefully they don't see the line. Also, there's a world where we draw into Force of Wills plus Pitch, which might not be enough. Another Archive Trap. Here we go. Then we draw 3 cards. And then we just double Archive Trap them. Okay, come on. I mean, it's unlikely, but there's a world where they just missed that they can kill us on the upkeep. Because last time they didn't even set us up on the upkeep. Last match. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Yes, we won, we won, we won. Oh, this is good. Deal with it. Deal with it. Oh, this is amazing. This is amazing. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Oh, man. Oh, okay, cool. High fives. High fives, everyone. Give me high fives in the chat. Maybe we're gonna need a high five emote. My little niece, she always wants to do either high fives or gangster fists. Well, in German it's called Gangsterfaust. So she wants to go like, huh, respect. That's Scheming Symmetry Archive Trap comment. That's insane. That's absolutely insane. So I'm gonna quickly jump to the bathroom. If Kevin comes back, can you guys in chat please let him know that I'm also gonna be right back? So I'm gonna be right back in like a minute or 2. Hey, I'm back. Are you here? Okay. Jasper, so I know whom not to mod in the future. Yeah, we outrace Burn on the draw. That was a kill on the 3rd turn, right? We basically milled their entire deck on the 3rd turn. This is actually the 3rd turn. How did we mill them so much? We got triple Archive Trap. Or was it actually quadruple Archive Trap? Guys, was it triple or was it quadruple Archive Trap? I think it doesn't let you watch your own replays while you're still in the league. Maybe they changed that. Or maybe everything's gonna... oh, here we go. So this was their second turn. Then we archive trapped them. And then on our turn we did... Oh, the Brain Freeze got there. The Brain Freeze came in big, right? The Brain Freeze came in super clutch here. How much? Like, the Brain Freeze was for 9, I think. So we go like 39 plus 9 plus 7 in hand plus 2 or 3 drawn for the turn plus 2 drawn. No, 3 drawn for the turn. That's 10, 19. Yeah, that's enough, right? Or was it enough? I'm so bad with math. 48, 70, 57. No, that's exactly lethal, right? Man, Archive Trap is a busted magic card. Archive Trap's just like... no, actually, why was it enough? Maybe that because the fetch land also basically mills for 1. $39 plus 9 is 48 plus 7 is 58. No, it's 55. Plus 3 is 58. And then they milled for 1. And maybe... they... Oh, because they had card draw. Oh, so the Bedlam Reveler actually killed them. The Bedlam Reveler killed them. There you can see it again. That's actually like I was like so confused because it didn't add up, but the Bedlam Reveler, oh my god. If this had been like another burn spell or something, we would have been dead. That was not Yorian burn. You know what they should have actually considered? What if they just like add extra cards? Like all the cards in burn are so redundant. And I wonder if your average damage that you do with, I guess the big thing is that your mana ratio is off then, if you add more sideboard cards. Because if the average amount your non-land, the average amount of damage your non-land cards do goes slightly down, but then again you also got an extra turn that might actually be worth it, because that extra turn gives you another card, so the average amount is gonna be like, the average amount is gonna be the same, but the total amount of damage you deal is gonna be bigger, especially since you're having so many creatures. So that's what I'm actually wondering, whether that could be worth it.
Alright, I'm back.
Oh, you're back. Oh, this is the... Oh, dude, this game was amazing. Yeah, you know what? We're actually gonna...
Really?
I'm gonna replay it with you. Yeah, check it out. We won. This is... Oh, how do I see... Oh, no, I can't see it now, right? Let's go back into this. So, we actually managed to beat Burn. That was super
cool.
tight. Okay.
Yeah, the Burn, I was just thinking, like, it's just a race, and I just figured they're going to be faster than us, so that's awesome.
They had an insanely fast start, so this is the opening hand. I think this hand is rather sketchy, but I ended up keeping it, and the reason is, like we talked about this earlier, right? We're basically a critical resource deck, and we gotta give ourselves an out to be lucky. So here we either want to draw Brainstorm or really just like running mill spells or something. And I think if we go down to 6, maybe we're gonna have a better hand, but we're gonna have even less burn, or I keep calling it burn, sorry, I'm so obsessed with burn right now. We're gonna have fewer resources to work with, and this deck is incredibly resource dependent, especially against a deck that is as fast as burn. So I ended up keeping this with the idea of drawing a cantrip, because we already got this, and this plus a cantrip basically means mill for 26, and then the Brain Freeze gotta come in clutch, because like maybe we draw a couple of free spells with the archive traps, or maybe they're gonna do like a lot of burn in a single turn. Actually, let's do it like this so you can see it better. So that's why I ended up keeping it, but on the draw against burn, it's definitely sketchy, but I think it's the right call. So opponent gets us there. We reveal another Scheming Symmetry, which is actually not that ideal, because we can't use them on the same turn with a cantrip, right? Unless we have like 2 cantrips, then we can make it work, because because the Scheming Symmetry otherwise shuffles the deck.
Yeah.
So then they have a fetch land, which enables our archive trap, which is like really cool. And they have all of these, so this is like a ton of damage coming our way rather soon. Like I thought we could just be dead here next turn. So they hit us. I don't remember what they revealed. It probably wasn't good enough. Yeah, it's just another land and a Hydroblast, but the Hydroblast also... Actually, I end up shuffling away the Hydroblast. So I'm... Okay, let's stop this. The replay feature on Magicon is really bad. So they showed us the Hydroblast on top, and I played the fetch land so we can actually basically scry against the Goblin Guide, so we can either like keep or send it away. And I ended up sending away the Hydroblast because I think that's not what we're looking for. We really want to find a cantrip, because that turns on the Scheming Symmetry, and I think that's one of the very few ways that we can actually win the game. So I shuffle on our upkeep, get a basic island, and we draw the visions. So at that point, we can either Scheming Symmetry right away, and then visions into the Archive Trap. But what I actually want to do is to get the Brain Freeze out there first, because there's a world where they basically play a lot of spells, right? And just doing the Scheming Symmetry, visions, and Archive Trap thing is not going to win us the game. So I'm just passing here, because next turn we can still Scheming Symmetry. So they fetch again, they attack us. And they have a lot of incentive to play a lot of spells here, right? Because of the prowess. So, and then that's such a big thing, right? We see an Archive Trap on top. Well, we see the same one twice, I guess. We see an Archive Trap on top. And that means that next turn we can mill them for a ton. They actually help us out a little bit here, because they played a Battle Unraveler, which draws them another 3 cards. So they get even deeper into their library. And at that point we just fire off the Brain Freeze, because they've played the Lightning Bolt and the Battle Unraveler, so the Brain Freeze is gonna be for 9, taking them down to 24. And that's already lethal, right? We got 2 Archive Traps coming.
Oh yeah, 26. Yeah.
So what would you say at this point is the big problem? We still have one big problem.
In this game in particular, or just in general?
In this game right now. Because at this point I thought we would still lose.
I'm just thinking if they have, like, just a Fire Blast.
Yeah.
I mean, they would have already casted it, though.
Yeah, so we could basically rule out the Fire Blast there, right? They could still have a Lightning Bolt in their hands, because they could have drawn it off the Battle Unraveler, right? They were tapped out after playing the Battle Unraveler. Yeah. So there's a world, I think there's a good chance they untap and just kill us. So, but it's gotta be either Exquisite Firecraft, Lightning Bolt, and I'm not even sure how many Lightning Bolts there are left. Like, I actually didn't count, I just wanted to see whether we had won or lost. So here we draw them, we double Archive Trap them, they go down to 0 cards, and they don't even go to the upkeep, they just scoop here. We killed them on the 3rd turn with a rather sketchy hand. I was so happy.
That's cool.
I
love those symmetries.
Yeah, they've been working out really well. Scheming Symmetry plus Cantrip, I thought would be good, but wow, that has been really good. And they really helped us out of the Battle Unraveler there, by the way. If they had not played that, they would still have had enough cards in the library.
That's funny. That's awesome.
Oh, that's such
it's funny with the mill, with the cantrip and the Scheming Symmetry that just ends up being basically Vampiric Tutor, or not Vampiric. Was it Imperial Steel that puts on library, but you just don't lose a life?
Yeah, exactly. It's basically Imperial Steel for both. Yeah. So the way I look at it basically is it's like a Force of Will that mills for 13, because it uses up 2 cards, right? Because the Scheming Symmetry is like -1 card advantage, but then you get to hit for 13. And if you ever get to a point where you have something like 4 mana, for example, if you get to Scheming Symmetry and then you play the Cantrip and then you play the Archive Trap and then you play a Brain Freeze afterwards, the Brain Freeze is gonna be for 12 as well. So at that point you mill 25, that's basically half their deck.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Great. That's good. That's good stuff. I forgot my glasses downstairs. Let me grab those real quick.
Sure.
Okay. So are you noticing anything that you think just in these 2 games that maybe we should adjust? Or is it kind of early to really tell?
It's hard to say because the matchups are pretty polarized. I think the any kind of reanimator strategy, now the Grizzlebrancer thing is always going to be pretty rough. I think we had the actual reanimation strategy somewhat under control, but yeah, the hardcasting plan, there was too much. I think that's something we probably shouldn't worry about because it's not common enough. Against Burn is really kind of deck that puts you to the test whether you have enough mill spells, because it doesn't matter whether you have like removal or counter spells or stuff. Eventually they're just gonna get you with Scheming Symmetry and Exquisite Firecraft and stuff. So I would really recommend not going lower on the mill spells. I'm pretty high on the Brain Freeze, I don't know, but I also want to get a better experience with how it works against the more top decks of the format, right? I want to see how it works against Drugdelver, I want to see how it works against Snowco. So those are the matchups that I'm most curious in. Yeah, maybe a 4th copy of the Brain Freeze. Like the Surgicals thus far I've not been too high on them. I could see having like more meat. Like I wouldn't hate having the 4th vision, but if the new crab is coming out, that's actually the thing that excites me the most. Like I want to know whether 8 crab is gonna be a thing. And it's gonna be hard to make room for the crabs, but I could see 2 Surgicals, and then we'd really have to figure it out. I don't have a good feeling for Mind Funeral yet. I guess on average it's gonna be 12. I'm not sure whether that's gonna be worth it, but it might. But yeah, probably like once the new crab comes out, it's gotta be 2 Surgicals gone, and maybe we actually change the second swamp for another fetch land. Like if you have 8 crabs, I want to maximize the fetch lands. Tony Scaponi, I have no idea what he plays, but let's figure this out. This looks decent, right? We got a turn 2 play, we got a turn 3 play, we got some protection. We're on the draw. On the draw means we're gonna have more business spells, hopefully. Hey Magus, good to see you. And the Scheming Symmetry, once again, once we find the cantrip. Oh man, I love the card. I already love the card.
Yeah, when I first saw that card, I wasn't even thinking that it could be in this deck. I just thought it was an interesting card.
Yeah, I think a lot of people were like, yeah, this is probably just not good enough because your opponent is gonna get their card first. But yeah, I really like this. Okay, so Tundra Go should be a decent matchup for us, right?
Yeah.
I would think. Let's see. Yeah, Symmetry gets Archive Trap. You basically draw into it on the same turn with a cantrip, and then you hit them for 13. Okay, so thus far the opponent doesn't know what we are, but we also don't really know what they are. I would think they're some kind of mentor control deck. I wonder if do we run out the glimpse here?
I mean, I'd expect it just to get countered, but maybe that's better than countering the archive. Yeah. I could see just playing a land and just maybe trying to save for a Brain Freeze on their turn.
Yeah. Ideally,
like if they run out like a cantrip.
Yeah, ideally I want to get to a turn where we... Oh, knowledge. Okay, interesting. So what I want to say is, ideally we get to a turn where we basically run out Glimpse the Unthinkable, and then they fight over it, and then we fight back, and eventually we follow it up with a Brain Freeze. Here, I think we just let like we could hardcast Days here, but I actually don't mind.
Yeah, I would just for the first one I would just let it resolve.
Yeah.
They had more in the graveyard.
More deep into the deck. Wonder sounds fine. The chat is saying that Accumulated Knowledge is the opponent's pet card. So maybe they are really addicted to drawing cards, but that's what we want to see. You know what?
Yeah, little do they know. That's what we want.
The dream would be if they go like ponder here, and then we do like the end of turn Brain Freeze for 12. So the
one of the funny ways.
Oh, they have Wastelands.
Oh, Wasteland.
That's annoying. I thought they would be like one of those blue-white control dudes. So technically we could Brain Free, like...
It would only be 6.
Yeah. But 6 for 2 mana sounds like a good deal, right?
It's not terrible.
Now
just
we're pretty far from setting up a turn where we like glimpse, protect, and then brain freeze. I think it might be worth it.
Maybe we could just do it.
Yeah. I'm actually gonna fetch another underground.
Yeah, and then we can still glimpse it.
Because they can cut us off a color if we fetch a basic here. I guess they can already cut us like soft off a color. Yeah. Chat is saying that we could brain freeze and daze the land. That's what I wanted to say earlier, but I think it's really not worth it. Because we can always just like top deck a land, right? Like lands are the easiest to draw, like lands, cantrips. And thus far they don't even have any kind of pressure. I'm not even sure if... I'm actually curious what they are playing. Like, now that we've seen Wasteland, I wonder if this is some kind of Stoneblade deck, maybe? Opponent must be so confused right now. I guess you get that often. I guess if you play in paper or like on the internet with that app you mentioned, then people might already know you.
But randomly they're like, mill? And it's not painter certificate?
Okay, chat is telling us that the opponent is probably playing some kind of bad Delver variant. So let's see how that works out.
Bolt negation.
Oh, there's another accumulated knowledge in the graveyard now. Yeah. Okay, Delver. I don't hate dazing the Delver there because that makes it so that their clock is gonna be slower.
Yeah, I would daze it.
Let's try that. They might daze back, but so be it. I think we actually run out the Colosseum here, because if they have another Wasteland, I'd rather see them hit the Colosseum than the Underground Sea. And there's nothing I really want to skimming Symmetry for yet, right? If he's skimming Symmetry, they just like put another Wasteland on top or something. Then we're kind of screwed.
Yeah.
The card that scares me the most right now is Dreadhorde Arcanist. Like, if they find a Dreadhorde Arcanist, every turn that passes by gives them so much better cards.
Yeah, we'd have to fight over that.
Opponent's probably like trying to figure out what their actual strategy against mill is. Like, usually you would think you just like let all the mill spells resolve, and then you only ever fight over like something like the last mill spell. And there's like two reasons why this is dangerous. The first one is maybe like too many of your actual cards that you need are gonna get milled, and then you're gonna be left with a deck of like lands, cantrips, and forces. And the second one is it's really hard to find over like a lethal brain freeze. And then you wish you had countered like the Mind Funeral or the Archive Trap or something. So it's always strategically, it's not always super clear how the opponent should proceed. And that's another level that Brain Freeze actually adds to the deck. So that they have to be like mindful and maybe fight over more stuff than they otherwise would.
I like that it puts them in like situations where like when I played with some of my friends, you know, the local tournaments and stuff, like putting them in a position where they have to really question and if they even are going to be fetching because they just expect I have Archive Trap in my hand. I love that mental kind of game that this deck kind of can put on people.
Yeah, definitely. So do you think they will actually fight over the Glimpse here? If we cast it? I'm actually not too sure.
If they did, I wouldn't be bummed because we got a backup. I would just run it out.
Yeah, let's just do that, right? Maybe they're gonna be like, hey, it's gonna give me more accumulated knowledges, maybe? It's interesting that they are a Delver deck, but they didn't really have anything going on the next turn, like no creature at all. But nobody plays Spell Pierce, or maybe they are playing Spell Pierce, who knows. That I could see something like either Hardcast Daze out of them here, or they really just let it resolve. But if they are gonna fight over it, if they Hardcast Daze, then yeah, we can't Daze back, so that actually would be a pretty safe play. But yeah, I think at this point the opponent is really trying to figure out what their strategy is, whether they should just like let all of these resolve. I like putting people in that kind of position. Okay, so we hit a mentor and a bunch of stuff. Awesome.
Mystic Sanctuary. There's that card.
Oh, 2 in the graveyard already. Actually, does Mystic Sanctuary allow them to like survive Once we milled everything enters the battlefield untapped, you may put target instant sorcery from grave on top. Yeah, so, okay, we gotta be careful with this kind of card. Like, I guess they wouldn't play more than 2, but this actually allows them to stay alive. But only if it's left in if they have it in hand, because they can't fetch it from the library. So that wouldn't really work. Okay, so actually Mystic Sanctuary doesn't beat us, right? The way I understand it. This one, I guess we just let it resolve, right? Like, it turns off the Force of Will, but we'd probably rather just keep our mill spells.
Or Force. Or, no, not the Force. Yeah. That's a tough decision. When they have 4 cards.
The thing is, if we force this...
I really want a Mind Funeral.
Yeah, the thing is, if we force this, it doesn't really do anything for us, right? Because then one of our mill spells is gone and the force is gone, and if we let this resolve, then the force is gone either way. You know what I'm saying? Like, if we let this resolve, it's like as if we lost force. But if we fight over it, but we're also going to lose one of our business spells. And it's also not really doing much for them. Just yeah, it's basically just like 3 mana, draw a card and make us discard the force. Delva is fine. So now something like a brainstorm would be sweet, because then we get to put away the force. Okay. So at this point I would probably just glimpse them again.
I would probably glimpse again, just to bait a counter.
And
then next turn follow it up with the Mind Funeral.
I'm just trying to figure out whether I want to play the Underground Sea there. But the thing is, if they're gonna have a Wasteland next turn, they're gonna hit the Colosseum, and then we're not gonna get to 3 mana anyway. Like, if this was a basic land, I would actually consider holding the Underground Sea, so we're guaranteed to have 3 mana next turn for the Mind Funeral. But since this is a non-basic land, if they have a Wasteland, we won't have that anyway. So yeah, let's just try this. I like that they actually made mill a keyword. It's actually called mill in German as well. Like, it's not even a German. I guess milling someone is also not like a proper English thing, but it is now.
Like, haha, you got milled.
It's like, yeah. Marcus is making.
He's probably starting to sweat a little bit.
Marcus is making a really good point, by the way. We can actually scheming Symmetry, which puts us to Threshold. And then we can crack the Colosseum to draw into Archive Trap.
Oh, true.
So that should probably be like the last thing we do, because then we lose the Colosseum. So next time I guess we're just gonna run out Mind Funeral. Man, and then maybe we're really gonna finish it off with like a Brick Brain Freeze or something. It would be sweet. But oh no, we actually... I wish we had more mana, because then we could actually do the thing with like scheming Symmetry, yeah, and everything. Because with Teferi in play, we're having a harder time getting an actual big Brain Freeze off.
Yeah.
Let's just draw, like, at this point I really just want to draw a bunch of lands. Or maybe Brainstorm, so we can get rid of the Force. But the opponent has like a very long way to go. The Delva didn't flip. They're down to 16. Oh, that's actually Brainstorm. Okay, this is interesting. So... What if we actually just like scheming Symmetry into Archive Trap here? I think that's... Oh, I just wish we had 1 more mana, because then we could follow up everything with just a break. What if we just wait a turn here? Is it crazy? Like, what do you like? We can also just Mind Funeral and...
Dude, we're not in a rush, really.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, we're not really in a rush. So you want to just Mind Funeral right now, just to...
Yeah, because then next turn we can do the thing where we go Scheming Symmetry, Brainstorm, and Brain Freeze, and that's gonna be a lot. So yeah, let's try that. I like that. That's a better use of our mana then. This is where they start counting the lands left in their deck. 1, 2, 3...
I see a lot in there.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9... 10, 11, 12. So they got like... We have seen 15 lands yet. There shouldn't be too many left in the deck, honestly. There shouldn't be... Like, we don't care about countering. We don't care about countering because they have because chat is asking about counter spells, but we don't care about countering because we can't do anything about it. Okay, so they decide to. Okay, cool. So yeah, now we're just gonna like keep throwing stuff at them until they die. Okay, this flipped with a Force of Will, so now they get a Force in hand. Which hopefully also means that they didn't draw another creature. Or just don't have another creature. Also, let's not forget, this actually represents another draw 3 that they actually can't counter unless they find... How many Wastelands are left? That's actually a big deal. 1, 2... 1, 2... So there's 2 Wastelands left the way I see it. Also, they play Stifle, which is good to know. And I really want that... Should we just like ponder here to find the extra land so we can set up a bigger brain freeze later on? I don't hate that. Or maybe brainstorm.
Yeah, I would just ponder. Or yeah, I'd brainstorm since the fairy shutting it off the instant anyways.
Yeah, exactly, right. It's shutting off the Force of Will, so let's get rid of the Force of Will anyway and let's see how that's gonna work. I bet they have like a bunch of Swords of Plowshares in hand. Oh, the Threatening Push could actually end up buying us time, yeah. The lands are also nice. This is... I want all of those. What if we just like put... No, I want to make the land drop and I want to push. But we don't necessarily need to push this turn.
Force and polluted delta back.
Sounds good. Sounds good.
Like
so we're gonna...
delta on top?
Yeah, and then we run this one out. And then we just try this. And then if they force back, we can actually already get a really big brain freeze off. I like what kind of like weird positions we're putting our opponents in.
Yeah.
Oh man. So I hope they don't have too many stifles because they could actually stifle the Storm Trigger, which would be a big deal. Man, let's see. Oh, there's a chance they can't even find anything with the Flooded Strand because it looks like they want to hardcast the Force of Will. But if there's no land left in the deck for them to get, then actually this just like fails to find. Let's see, we're gonna find out.
That's funny.
Oh, they found a land. Okay. Actually, that also helps us. That's one fewer card in the deck. Okay, here comes the hardcast Force of Will. And I think at this point it's worth it, right? Like, we lose the Delta, but that's fine. We don't even need that at this point. And then we are gonna get a basic here. And here comes the Brain Freeze. So how do you like the Brain Freeze, opponent? We're gonna let you live with like 2 cards left in the deck. And we're gonna have Cephalid Colosseum next turn. Oh, and this is also great because this means they can't stifle the Brain Freeze trigger here. How many Lightning Bolts could there be left in the deck? Oh, we haven't seen any. Oh, there's 1 Lightning Bolt. Okay. I wonder if they are playing 4. Statistically, there should be at least a second one in the graveyard. I keep calling the graveyard the sideboard. This is so awkward for them. Oh, they're forcing like 1 copy? Okay. They pitched Force to Force of Will. Okay. Okay, yeah, same targets for sure. Hey Arkan. Hey everyone in chat. Okay, so... Wait, Magnetic Sinkhole? Okay, we don't care about that card. That hits Planeswalkers. There's another Lightning Bolt in the graveyard. So they could have like 1 Lightning Bolt left in the deck and 1 Lightning Bolt left in hand. So yeah, at this point, let's just pass and see what happens.
I think we still win off the Colosseum and their natural draws. I think unless they like we got like three turns maybe.
Let's see, Wasteland. There's a good chance they have a Wasteland for the Colosseum, but let's... I mean, we can't influence it anyway, so we're just gonna sit here and wait.
Yeah.
Hey, Flounce. Hey, Pivo. So, if they have, like, 1 Lightning Bolt, they're gonna take us down to 8, then Lightning Bolt takes us to 5. So yeah, they would need like 2 Lightning Bolts to kill us, basically, on their next turn. And that's gonna be... Like, if they only have 2 cards in hand at this point, and...
If those are the 2, then I'll give him that one too.
Yeah, they wouldn't even kill us, right? Because now if they have 2 lightning bolts, we don't even care. Because then they are not gonna touch our Colosseum, so that means they're gonna die. So they need Wasteland or Stifle. And if they play 4 Wastelands, then there's still 2 left somewhere in those 6 cards that they technically still have. And on top of that, then there's also still gotta fight the Scheming Symmetry. So there's probably like just too much going on for them to beat.
Yeah, we have the Symmetry and the cantrip to support it.
Yeah. Oh, they found another land. Okay, so they really only have 1 card left. And we found a force. Okay, interesting. Oh no, but we can't use it, of course. So yeah, I guess we just Symmetry them, right? Let's just try that. What if we actually Symmetry for Brain Freeze? I'm wondering, is that good enough? Because that's slightly harder to counter. But they might just fight over the Ponder.
I'd just, I mean, we could get... I would just get the Archive Trap, if anything.
Okay, let's try that.
Because then we still have the mana left to activate the Colosseum.
That's true. Oh, that's really true. That's actually a really good point. So yeah, that's actually really good. Because if the Archive Trap gets countered, then they're gonna draw their best card, and we can actually stop that by activating the Colosseum. That's actually really good. Oh, there's 2 Archive Traps. So now I'm wondering, we probably shouldn't get the Brain Freeze, right? Because that gets stifled, and then that doesn't kill them. How many forces are there actually left? Because those are the only hard counters they have. But I guess if they hardcast force, then they're not winning anyway. Yeah, you know what, we're
so maybe
pick the Archive Trap. And I think we put Brain Freeze second, right? So then next time we're gonna draw Brain Freeze, which we can cast. Yeah, sounds good. So Archive Trap, Brain Freeze, Archive Trap, Sheffield Library, nope. And here we go, opponent.
Let's see what you got.
Oh, it doesn't have flavor text. It needs flavor text. It actually should have a flavor text like, let's see what you got.
I thought it did. Maybe
it doesn't on Magic Online, but it might have. Do we have this? Yeah.
Yeah, there's no flavor. There's no flavor text on the print either. Yeah, it needs flavor text. That was good.
That was really cool.
Yeah, that really didn't really worry me.
So let's quickly look at the deck. Like, what do we actually care about? Like Stifle. We've seen 2 Stifles. We've seen 3 days. Yeah, so that's probably a good amount of Dazes, Wastelands, and Stifles. Oh, I wish they're gonna take out the Swords of Plowshares, because we haven't shown the Crab yet.
Yeah, they might.
And the Crab has the potential to take things over. Yeah. So, what's our plan gonna be? It's kind of awkward because they're like a slow Delver deck, but they're still a Delver deck, so they're not actually control deck. But we could try some of our control strategies. So
what do you think about taking out forces?
That's the very first thing I want to suggest to you. Yeah. And it's not like it's gonna hit anything we really care about. That's probably like an easy cut. I wonder, like,
Shock might not be bad with their Dread Hordes.
Does it actually stop the Dread Hordes in some way?
Well, it just exiles the graveyard.
Oh wow! I was like reading. Like, oh yeah, there was something. Oh, okay. Yeah, definitely those. And then. So Plague Engineer kinda turns off their Dreadhorde Arcanists, but so does Hydroblast, and I'm not sure which one's better. I'm also kinda looking at Sphinx Tutelage. I have no idea how to pronounce that, by the way. But
yeah, I think
might just be
since there's so many colors, since they're tricolor or quad color, I probably wouldn't bring in Tutelage.
Yeah. So at this point we would probably have like 2. Yeah. There's nothing that really jumps at me that I want this.
Like maybe the Hydroblast just as backup for the Arcanist, or like a clutch. Pyroblast or Lightning Bolt that's necessary. Like, I could see those coming in.
Yeah, I'm basically like I'm torn between those, and the Plague Engineer might just not be good enough. Because the Hydroblast also takes out the Dreadhorde Arcanist, which is like the only card that I really care about. Or what about the Surgicals? Like, I'm not too high on the Surgicals actually.
Yeah, I don't care about the Surgicals in this matchup.
Let's get rid of those. And then we have 10 seconds. Okay. What if you just like bring this in and
we could try the tutelage.
Okay,
or a Brazen Bar. That's fine.
Okay, here we go. Let's try this.
Yeah, I've never played with the tutelage, but I could see it. I could see it being very good.
This looks decent, right?
Yeah, I like this hand.
Let's try this. Okay. Oh, no fetch land. Too bad. I think we just, yeah. You know what? Actually, what if we don't do anything and keep the Hydroblast in case they run out of Dreadhorde Arcanist? Like, we don't need to ponder right away,
I was
right?
kind of thinking about.
Yeah, let's try that.
Yeah, I was kind of thinking.
Or actually, maybe we should still wait anyway, because then we can play around Daze. So if they play it, maybe we just let it resolve, we go to our turn, and then we Hydroblast it, protected by Daze, in which case we should have actually pondered. But yeah, okay. Yeah, thinking about it again, I think it's actually better to ponder there, because then we Hydroblast on our turn with Daze protection. But now we can Archive Trap with Daze protection. Okay, so the way it works, we have to wait for the shuffle for the search to resolve, right? So they haven't searched yet. So yeah. Fendorsa, thanks for tuning in. Okay, second Delver. Okay.
You know, if we.
I guess there's a world where we brainstorm to another Archive Trap. Is that crazy? I think we just like sent this one out first, right? So because this is Daze protected.
Yeah.
Let's try that.
I don't hate brainstorming just to try to find another.
Yeah, I want to do it too. So, okay, there's one Pyroblast gun. Okay, Snapcaster Mage. Okay, we didn't see that in the first game. You know what? Let's try that, right? Let's try to find one.
What if we find
already decent.
We find two of them right now.
Come on, let's do it. Chat, send us your energy. Chat failed. Didn't send us the energy. So
push is always.
Yeah, so we're basically only shuffling away one of those cards anyway. Like, the crazy idea scenario is where the Delvers don't flip for a turn, and then we Plague Engineer Wizard, and they both die, but it's not too likely. We're probably keeping both the Glimpses, right?
Yeah.
Just trying to figure out whether there's anything we really want. It's interesting that they fetched for Volcanic Island and not Tundra. I think I'm gonna just like put the lands.
Like, I would put land and then Plague Engineer on top, and then like at least maybe have that as a.
Maybe we should just like go really aggressive on this kind of stuff, because it didn't seem like they had a like if they're not dazing the the Archive Trap, then they're probably also not dazing the Glimpse, right? So should we just go for the Glimpse here?
Would you rather, since I kind of expected that Delvers would flip, would you rather Fatal Push one of them and Ponder?
No, I think I'd rather Ponder next turn. There's like, if we crack this land, there's always a chance that we're gonna draw the land that we need. And it sounds like corny, but I want to give myself the maximum chance of getting lucky. And we can always like Ponder afterwards. So I would run out the Glimpse, because it's like quite likely to resolve. Thus far we are 1-1 as Geonic. We lost against a Reanimator strategy, which is probably like not something we want to face. But we managed to beat Burn, and Burn, I was told, is like a really bad matchup, but we barely won it with the power of Scheming Symmetry and Archive Trap. Okay, another 10. Area of Flame, okay. Enters the battlefield, each opponent gains 10 life. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, put 2 Rust cards in Area of Flame, then it deals damage equal to the number of Rust cards.
I don't.
Okay, so this kills us over time, right?
Kind of long.
This might just be too slow.
Yeah.
Well, they have Surgical against us, what the fuck?
They're scared.
I mean, we're laughing now, but watch them Surgical the Glimpse now.
Yeah.
Let's see how that works. Okay, so Delver, just don't flip and we're gonna draw a land. Oh, they flipped with the ace. Oh, okay. Okay, at least we're not getting wasted here.
Well, good thing we don't have any non-basics.
Yeah. AK is helping us out somewhat. But at this point I'm very much expecting that we're having to at least beat 1 Pyroblast, right?
Yeah.
Okay, there's the land. That's something. So... like one line there is we go like land, glimpse, then they pyroblast, then we hydroblast, then they daze, and then we do nothing. So that doesn't really feel like a good exchange.
We're still dead in 2 attacks. So I feel like we need to push one of those fairly soon just to buy us more time.
Yeah. Let's just do that. We should we actually do that?
That might eat their day.
So basically, we could do it on their upkeep, which makes it harder for them to fight over it, because then their mana is gonna be tied down for their turn. The downside is that we then don't ponder.
Yeah.
So I think we're gonna aggressively go this. And because that allows us to ponder this turn. Because right now we don't know how many soft counters we actually have to play around, and this plays around the maximum amount of soft counters.
They do have 7.
What do you say?
They do have 7 in hand too.
Yeah. Yeah. We had them a little bit out with their accumulated knowledges and stuff. You know, they're probably thinking about force-fulling this. Because having a 2-turn clock versus a 4-turn clock is quite the difference. And I think if they force... Would you Hydroblast back there? I think I would. Oh, they pitched the days. Okay.
Well, the Hydroblast.
Oh no, we can't Hydro. Oh, no. Sorry, I'm totally messed up. I wish we could do that. Yeah, that totally doesn't work, of course.
I mean, that's I don't mind that. So yeah, now just ponder. Did we make a land drop this turn?
Yeah, we played the basic land.
Well, we got a crap.
Yeah, but we're too far away from actually making it work, right? We probably gotta send those away. Like, as much as I want the crabs, we're not gonna draw any fetch lands in time because we also like, I guess we could.
Yeah,
I guess we could
like
technically
a Mind Funeral or.
Okay, there's another crab. Okay, at this point, I guess we're just running it. Yeah, at this point we're running it out, right? We can draw a fetch land next turn. And if it trades for like a Pyroblast, that's okay. That's one fewer Pyroblast you have to worry about for our bigger spells.
It might be daising this.
Yeah, it feels like, right? They're probably considering it. Okay, we got the crab. So let's say we find a fetch land here that hits them for 6. No, that's not enough. That's barely not enough. I think we're dead. Oh, I guess we can actually survive if we put Plague Engineer on, what is it, like a human? That's the only way we can really survive here, right? There's no other way.
On human?
Yeah. Let's just try this out. Like, they have a lot of incentive to counter this, because we are dead if this doesn't resolve. Looks like they got the force.
Yeah, I wish that Fatal Push resolved.
Yeah. Yeah, that would have been really sweet. Okay, so let's go into the third game. Somehow we're actually up on time, which is like usually the person who's losing a group call. They're usually like losing a ton of time just to that, but they're behind on time, so that's good.
Yeah, I remember these games lasted quite long at the local tournaments, but just because it's making them think, I think a bit more. That's kind of to our advantage.
Because we're more experienced in the matchup. So, what about actually Brazen Borrower? Yeah, me neither.
Yeah,
I kind of like the Brazen Borrower. Basically, it buys quite a lot of time, like it bounces a Delver, and then it can also block a Delver and kill it.
Yeah, I like that. I know the Ashok didn't really do anything in that game, but I still feel like it's worthwhile, especially against the accumulated knowledges. That seems like
they got knowledges.
That's where they got ahead.
They got Snapcasters.
Yeah.
Yeah. And being on the play, it's probably like it's much easier to make this work on the play. So I like this. Let's try this.
I like that.
Be on the play.
Speak
of the devil.
Oh wow.
That's actually okay, right?
I don't mind it. Since we have the Ponder, I don't mind it.
Yeah. We can just like turn 1 Ponder, turn 2 Glimpse, turn 3 Ashiok, and then at some point Archive Trap.
Yeah.
Let's try that. Okay, so they are gonna have Wasteland, so we actually need to lead on the Fetch Land, on the Flooded Strand, because Flooded Strand can't get the basic Swamp that we're gonna get off the Vista.
Yeah.
Pawn is saying something in chat. This is for 5-0. If I lose, I'm gonna be yelling, not like this. What? Like, after already playing this a little bit, like, it feels much more serious of a deck than, honestly, I would have given it credit for. Okay.
And that's why I liked trying to make something like this work. Oh, we got the scheming. Yeah,
you got
and
the scheme
push.
symmetry.
Huh.
I like the Hedron Crab actually the most. Like, I definitely want to keep the Hedron Crab for the next turn.
Did you see if they took out their swords last game?
We didn't see swords, but we did see at least one lightning bolt. But they might have also like trimmed.
Yeah.
But we're still like almost guaranteed to get like 6 mil of the crab. So I would probably like keep all of this. Yeah. So I think that's.
I would.
really
Yeah. I would put it. I would put the. Yeah.
I think it actually...
yeah, that's good.
Doesn't matter because we don't shuffle. Yeah. Because we're basically going to have access to all of those cards before we have to make a decision in which order we're going to play them. Because I think we're basically guaranteed to run out the crab next turn, right?
Yeah.
Man, I can't wait to have 8 crabs.
That's going to be funny. People are going to be like, man, what does this world come through? Magic is got all STDs.
Once you get to 8 crabs, it actually becomes more interesting to run stuff like Ghost Quarter. But yeah, I definitely agree that you already mentioned this, right? That we're gonna need quite a lot of lands to make our stuff work. So let's try this. I wonder if they're gonna force a fillet. This is a leak, Ellie Silva. Yes, we're currently 1-1. We lost to Reanimator. Oh, they daze it. Too bad. Well, we can't do anything about that, right? The good thing is, they didn't have anything to do in the first turn. So now we're back to square zero for them. So once again, they're not gonna have anything to do in the first turn. So now I'm actually wondering, though, do we really want to draw the Scheming Symmetry? Because I really want to run out the Ashiok next turn. And the Scheming Symmetry alone doesn't do anything. So I kind of want to shuffle away the Scheming Symmetry.
I would like to... I would like to draw it just to have it, because I feel like later in the game it might be really helpful to get that last Archive Trap.
The thing is, like, right now the opponent right now is like in a really weak position and don't even have access to Pyroblast, so this is like the best chance that we can ever get Ashiok into play. And the Scheming Symmetry still requires, like, we basically want to take advantage of them while they are weak. So I really want to draw a land here.
Yeah, let's do that. Let's fetch.
Let's try that.
Yeah, getting an Ashiok at this point that'd be really cool. Worst case scenario, we just glimpse.
Oh, okay, Okay, so at that point, I guess we just run out the glimpse, right? We want to make use of our mana here. And nobody plays Spell Pierces. I guess they could Daze again. I guess it's a brainstorm,
Never. Yeah. Nobody plays Foam. Well, if they end up forcing this or dazing this, I'm not going to be unhappy.
Yeah, especially if they daze it, right? Because then they fall back once again. Which gives us another chance to maybe land the Sphinx Tutelage or the Ashiok. It would be actually really cool if they force the Ashiok and then we just play another one.
Yeah.
Honestly, but if I was them, I would totally let this resolve. Okay, 1 Pyroblast gun, 1 Lightning Bolt gun, Mentor gun. Yeah, lots of cards we care about.
1 AK.
Yeah. I guess the reason to brainstorm there is that you actually you get a free shuffle basically, right? You could put your two bad cards back, and then you get cards. Okay.
Opponent, you know you want to fetch.
Okay, here we just pass. The Fatal Pushes are gonna buy us a lot of time because their deck actually doesn't really have a way to... Okay, so we're gonna let that resolve, and I guess at this point we try for the Archive Trap, right? We're not gonna have too many opportunities. It might get Pyroblasted, but we gotta trade down on their counter spells.
Yeah, if they Pyro Force, then whatever.
So yeah, strategically, why the Fatal Pushes are so nice here is we haven't seen any Planeswalkers that we really care about, which usually would be a way for them to punish us for being slow. And so if you can like hit their creatures, they're either gonna fight over the Fatal Pushes, which makes it more likely for our stuff to resolve, or they're gonna let it happen, and then we can hopefully eventually just overrun them with good stuff.
Like I wasn't in last matchup, I wasn't even too afraid of the Lilianas because I figured, well, every card we draw, we're going to have enough land. You know, maybe 4 turns later we get ultimated, but I wasn't really too worried about it. Although that ended up kind of being still bad.
Oh, now they're going to draw a bunch of cards. I guess at this point I'm just waiting for a couple seconds to like at least pretend I got something. Okay. Actually, this is just like for 2 cards. This is okay. You know what we should play? We should play our own accumulated knowledges against them.
Accumulated knowledge, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, they haven't really done much, and they're already at 22. That's feeling pretty decent.
Oh, that's actually true. 22 is really not a lot. I mean, most of our stuff resolved. You know, I think they might actually be doing the thing that I talked about earlier, where they're gonna let everything resolve except for like the very last few spells, in which case something like Brain Freeze would be good. In which case, of course, something like Teferi can be a little bit annoying, but it's really not the end of the world.
Yeah, I'm not too worried about Teferi.
Just plus here. Okay, Visions actually lets us draw. Oh yeah, let's do that. Come on. Come on. Give us stuff. We have actually our own accumulated knowledge, and it's just 1 mana. It's much better.
It's much better.
They might fight over this now. Opponent doesn't know what to do.
Yeah, they forced it.
Okay, they forced it.
Looks like they're forced.
Force, pitch, ponder. Okay, ponder, whatever. Okay, never mind. We can always just draw our land. Eventually.
I feel really good with the Fatal Pushes in hand.
Yeah, yeah. Turn up to 1 turn. Oh, they're just not gonna draw a card. Like, the only creature that could somewhat punish us is Mentor, if they get like Mentor and make like 2 or 3 tokens. But we already milled one, and I think we only ever saw a single one over all the milling that we did. Okay. I don't hate just like Fatal Pushing this, right? We don't need to play this into days.
Yeah, I would
maybe push actually. Yeah, let's push it. Push it. Push it real good.
Push it real good.
This could be hardcast counterspell. You know what? We might actually end up winning on time if they're gonna keep playing this slowly.
They're like, so many decisions. Damn it! Why do you have to do this to me?
Wait, this is Forcible, really? Oh wow, Forcible pitch stifle. You know what? Can like
good.
anybody in chat count how many delvers they actually have left? Because there's like 1 delver, 2 delver, 3. This is the last delver. This could be like a Disney movie, The Last Delver.
The Last Delver.
Oh, they're drawing more cards, dude. They're doing our work. So there's like this delver. The Monastery Mentor has been milled. There might be Dreaded Arcanist. The hilarious thing about Dreaded Arcanist is it might not even be able to kill us in time because it really only deals 1 damage a turn. And if you, like, if you use your Ponders and Brainstorms, yeah,
like,
as well. And if they can't even like abuse the upside of it, right? Because if they use Brainstorms and Ponders, then they're gonna mill out even quicker. So like, this might actually be the last card we care about in that deck, depending on what else they have. This is hilarious. This might actually be the reason why they're forced to keep the Delver. Let's see what this is gonna be. This is gonna be something for 3 mana. So it could be another Mentor, which would be unfortunate. Oh, Area of Flame, okay. Oh, we saw that, yeah. Okay, so that could actually kill us in time.
Yeah. But we have 20. We have 28. They have a lot of turns they need to be able to cast.
That's true, that's true.
I mean, I see us having like at least 3 turns.
Okay, now we found the land.
I would just get the Ashiok out right now. Just take out the graveyard.
Yeah, you know what I like to do? I like to double spell here in the sun because they're tapped down, which means they can only interact with Force of Will. So I kind of want to like glimpse and Fatal Push.
Yeah.
Let's see how many forces there are left. There's like 3 forces in the graveyard.
Yeah, Force of Negation, I think too.
Yeah, and I think there's 2 Force of Negations in the graveyard as well. So there's like 1 force left in the entire deck unless they sided one out or I missed some, but I think I didn't. Okay, so now they're tapped down, so they also can't Hydroblast. If they still have like Hydroblast, they can't Snapcaster Mage. So I want to get like as many spells in as I can.
2 days. I see 2 days in their graveyard, so they might have a days in hand.
Yeah, they might have. Yeah, I'm wondering whether we can respect the days. Because there's a chance they might have taken out like 1 or 2.
I would just glimpse first, and then follow it up with the Fatal Push. And if the Fatal Push gets dazed, then so be it, because they're at 13.
Sounds good. Let's try that. This might trade for the last Force of Will.
Yeah.
Our opponent's like, so no, I don't want to lose 2 mil.
But I have Force of Will. What do you mean?
It's like, sweet. Okay, so they Force of Will the glimpse. Okay, so that means this gets a counter. So when do we actually receive it? When you reduce damage? Oh, every time they play an instant. Okay, okay, okay. So yeah, I think we're just gonna run this one out here, and then if they have days,
they're probably gonna scoop after this. To be honest.
Hopefully,
because I don't know what threats they have at this point.
Oh, it worked! It worked out. Okay, so you know what they could actually do? They could have like an insane amount of cantrips here, and that might actually kill us like in like a turn or 2 because of the area.
But we're still
like,
at 24.
Like, yeah, but this kills pretty quickly. So the next Ponder is gonna deal 2, then 3, then 4, then 5. Oh, okay, but this digs them deeper into their thing. This is gonna be really interesting.
Well, think about this. Like next turn, if we can pull off an Ashiok, then they're down to 4, and then the next turn they're dead. So can they kill us in 2 turns? Can they do 22 damage in 2 turns?
They might with using Snapcaster on Lightning Bolt. I think we haven't made the Snapcaster yet. Oh, no, we did. There's a Snapcaster, and I think they only had 1, but they could have a second one. But what I really want to draw here is Hydroblast, because we still have Hydroblast in the main deck. But this one also helps us out. So last turn they didn't have days, because they would have used it. So there's a chance they could have drawn it here, though. So might as well just play around it, right? Sphinx is not good enough. No, let's just
do Ashiok.
Yeah. We just like we keep them coming here. Bam, bam, bam.
What did you Did you look at the one card I had in the sideboard in the original list I sent you was the incursion card. Did you see that one? Crypt Incursion?
That was
So,
the life gain spell, right?
Yeah, I think it was a black and a colorless, and exile any number of creatures from a graveyard and gain 3 life for each one. So I feel like that was like an interesting way to buy a lot of time versus any creature deck. Like even a deck like this, if we casted that, you know, we could gain upwards of 15 life. But I don't know if that's like worth a slot.
I wonder if it's better than something like Pyroblast in a matchup like. Oh, I guess we can't have Pyroblast, of course, but I'm not sure. Like, I think there's not too many really aggressive decks where we would need it. Like here, it could be like in a position like this, it would be okay. But overall, for most of the game, it would be sitting in your hand doing nothing. Yeah. And I think I'd rather
like maybe for
like an additional
elves or slivers or goblins, it'd be better.
Yeah. Thing is, like, goblins also, like, it's probably only gonna buy you like a turn, maybe 2 against goblins, and at that point, that's kind of like the rate of return I would want from a mill spell, which might also cut the game short by like a turn or 2. So I don't think the card is bad. I think the meta might not be right for it. Okay, so let's see. Here you get Visions. This card just scares me. I don't know, man. So the next spell deals. The next spell takes us to. So we're dead in 3 spells, basically. We take 5, 6, 7.
So I would Visions here and try to just get like a Glimpse or a Mind Funeral. Or an not an Archive Trap.
The thing is,
I think Ashiok's kind of.
If their entire hand is just like, if everything they have left is like lands and reactive spells, then we can actually win by not casting a single spell. And I wonder whether that's a thing. So how many brainstorms are there left? Like 1, 2. Okay, there's like still brainstorms.
2 left.
Oh no, there's 1 brainstorm left because 1 got pitched. Oh no, wait, here's 1, 2, 3. No, there's no brainstorm left. Okay, ponder. 1, 2, 3 ponder. There could be a ponder left. They got less than a minute on the clock, chat is saying as well. Maybe just run out the visions, I don't know. I really don't know.
I would just Visions, see what we can find.
Yeah, but just don't want to give them like a way to cast their spells. That's just like the scary part.
Yeah.
But you know, we can Visions, and if they fight over it, we can still try to get them with... Oh no, what you should have done? You should have run Sphinx Tutelage, and they might fight over it, but if it resolves, then we can kill them with Visions. Oh wait, this worked? Okay.
So now we can Mind Funeral. I mean, if that resolves...
Yeah, let's just try that.
And we can still Daze... Oh, no, Daze does nothing.
We still have a land drop left, so... We can actually get the crap out this turn as well if we Daze. Even if we like don't Daze to counter anything. I think we still have a land drop. Okay, they have a Daze. Honestly, probably shouldn't even like Daze. Like if the Hedron Crab is only gonna do some... we can't even Daze. Yeah, there's a Teferi, by the way. Yeah, we just let this happen. Oh, this is scary. Like, the thing is, if they had more like reactive spells, maybe they are really just gonna... They would throw all the reactive spells at this and kill us this way. Yeah, we might be dead now. Yeah, Raisin Burrower. We might be dead here.
They just cast 2 spells, huh?
Yeah, they just Pyroblast our land, and then they can even counter their own Pyroblast. Or they don't even need to, they can attack for 3. Oh, that was close. That was close.
Oh, man. I wonder what we could have done if we should have... I'm trying to think of what we could have done differently.
So that accumulated knowledge, that got us really good. That drew them so many cards.
If that was, if that wasn't in the deck, that I think we would have had that. That card got them so much value between all the matches.
Yeah. Hydroblast would have been sweet to try to take out the Area of Flame. The Hydroblast would have traded for their Pyroblast though, so I guess So we never, yeah, the thing, you know what really got us? We were stuck on 2 lands for like so many turns where we could have tried to play these. Because basically we were dying with lethal spells in hand, because I'm not sure they would have been able to counter all of these.
Yeah.
And had we been able to cast those earlier, we could have avoided the damage that we took of the counters that they played of the Area of Flame. So yeah, maybe
even one Ashiok trigger would have possibly
put us
even
really close.
There are 5 cards right now. Yeah, that's good though. I mean, that
was really close. Yeah, I think. And looking back, it probably was also like the right call to try to find the extra land, even though I think, did we actually? I think we struggled for a turn, right? But it's kind of cool that we really got to a point where we are pretty much down to almost the last win condition.
And they almost timed out too.
Oh, that's true. they were down to like 30 seconds or something, or 20.
Yeah. This is why I enjoy playing this deck.
Especially since the opponent don't know what to do against them.
It makes people play way differently than usual, I think.
Chat is asking whether the Sphinx line would have won. No, it would have not. Because we run out the Sphinx, and then they dazed, what's it called? What did you have played afterwards? The Visions. So we just get a Sphinx into play and we pass. So I'm wondering whether there's a line where we just play the Sphinx and pass without playing the thing into daze. What happens then? Then they play. Then we still die because they play the end of turn the 3/3, and then on their turn they're gonna Pyroblast one of our lands, deal damage to us, and then they're gonna daze their own Pyroblast and deal more damage to us. And since there's Teferi, we couldn't have done anything about it. Oh wow, this is, if you don't know this guy, this is maybe the best Brazilian Legacy player in the world, and he always plays some kind of Banned Miracle Control deck.
Huh. Well, I don't mind the Miracle matchup. I'm kind of looking forward to doing more of those control matchups.
Yeah.
This hand doesn't excite me, but it's workable in my opinion.
Yeah, I like it. As long as we're hitting our land drops and stuff, that's fine for me. And if we have too many lands, we can eventually draw Brainstorm. But yeah, I like it too.
If he's control and he's more slow paced, I'm not too stressed. So it's Temur Delver or.
Oh yeah, it's apparently he always used to play that kind of deck, but now he's not anymore. So maybe he's also joined the dark side. Yeah, Temur Delver. Everybody's been doing it now. Here I like leading on the Vista because it's probably gonna get an island anyway, so might as well do this.
Just not give away what we're doing yet.
Or maybe actually the Strand, since we're gonna get an island anyway. I don't see us getting an Underground Sea anytime soon, so yeah, I think it's actually better to lead with this. And yeah, not show him what we are. And we also don't need to crack the visions until we have to. I'm gonna set a stop on his upkeep, so because if he reveals Stifle here, which would be super unlikely, then we wouldn't fetch on his upkeep, so we can try to avoid that Stifle, but yeah. I usually don't play Stifle these days. Okay, didn't flip. Didn't find a land. Didn't play a cantrip. That really didn't play another Delver. That really narrows his hand down.
Interesting.
Hey, his hand must be Forces, Dazes, Lightning Bolts, Dreadhorde Arcanists. There's very few cards he would... I can't imagine any other cards that he wouldn't have casted. He would have played any cantrip, he would have played any other land, he would have played Delver.
I don't like trying the Symmetry line right here just because it's probably going to get forced. Or the Arcap Trap will be. So I would just land pass at this point.
I agree. Chat is asking whether Stifle is up. I think at this point Stifle is so uncommon in Rug Delver lists that I would ignore it for now. I mean, there's the deck called Pokepile that plays it, but that's also rare, so I wouldn't respect Stifle too much. We can respect Stifle in the way I explained on the first turn, but overall I wouldn't respect it too much. Didn't flip again.
Stifle's not too much on my radar most of the time.
Okay, so still nothing. We could brainstorm here and try to make something work, but I think we really don't have to. We just wait, make another land drop.
Yeah, nothing's really worrying me at this point.
Try to take it from here. Oh, that could be interesting. I think, yeah, at this point we just pass again. And then next turn we can set up for like a big brainstorm. For a big brainstorm. Hey, we're gonna draw 3 cards! No, we're gonna set up for a really big brain freeze there next turn, I think. Okay, so now it flipped.
They have not even put another land. They're hurting on lands.
Man, we could actually... Oh man, I really want to hardcast Daze this.
Yeah. I would do it.
Or maybe... You know what we should... Honestly, maybe what we should actually do? We should try to get a really big brain... We could actually try to get a really big brain freeze here. Like, we Daze this... This is like 1, 2, 3, 4... 5. Actually, maybe we wouldn't use divisions because you wanna use that for something awesome. But... You like
so we catch, bounce, Daze... They fight over it, and we end up with a brain freeze after.
Yeah, exactly. But we also get a get a brainstorm somewhere in there.
Yeah.
So I would lead on the brainstorm to make it seem like we are looking for an answer, and like ideal. Okay, wait. Opponent isn't even trying to fight over this. Okay, so we can shuffle away one more thing. Oh god, the visions are gonna be insane. I would think the visions are soon gonna be very insane. I guess we can do without the Colosseum for now.
Yeah, I don't need the Colosseum.
And the rest
like at this point, everything else looks like pretty good. Like actually, funeral is like the furthest off from really being useful until later in the game, so maybe put that away.
Yeah. You know what I actually like taking? I actually like putting away the underground scene now that I think about it. Because we're still gonna have 3 mana and we're gonna make our next land drop. And by putting away the lands and fetching, that makes it so that we are happy if we draw a land because we can use the extra mana.
Yeah.
But we're also happy if we draw like a spell that's maybe not the second Mind Funeral. So
I
kinda like that. So we'll go for another basic. And then we Daze this. And this is probably where I expect them to... Oh no, actually they wouldn't Daze back, but maybe they force. That would be like really...
If they're really looking for a land, I can see them forcing it.
Okay, and... Just hit me with that.
And we could still hit for 9, right? At the end of...
It should actually be... It should be more than 9, it should be 12. Yeah, we get them for 12 here.
Yeah.
So 9 extra, yeah. Okay, so now also we know it's gonna be Rock Diver probably.
I'm happy to take out an Arcades. And 2 Wastelands. That's good. Wastelands really make things tough later in the game.
So here we could actually go for our Archive Trap play. And it's gonna be protected against Daze. I like that.
Okay.
I mean, we could also Mind Funeral because they didn't Daze. Actually, they didn't have a chance to Daze back because we had mana up. So
how many cards in the graveyard?
13.
So we don't have vision.
Yeah, that's what I want to do. I want to turn the visions on, basically.
Okay, yeah, let's Mind Funeral.
Awesome.
Or Archive, I mean.
Oh, sorry, yeah, sorry. That's. I hope you meant the same.
Archive is fine too.
Yeah. Opponent F6, by the way. Which means they don't have any responses here.
At this point, the Archive is better than the Mind Funeral anyways. Like, we haven't seen too many lands.
Oh, Fatal Push is also going to be good. I want that next turn. I also want the land drop, though, because the land drop makes the Mind Funeral safe against Daze. So maybe we... but taking the extra 3 damage of Delver is a little bit scary. So maybe we set it up that the Fatal Push is second from the top.
I'd like to get Fatal Push next turn.
Yeah.
Because we just want to buy time when we can.
Actually, we could also, but that's scary. We could Visions on this turn. But I don't hate that. We can Visions on this turn to still get the land drop. Oh no, we already had the land drop. Okay, so more stuff is gone. I think there's a good chance the opponent doesn't have anything. I think we actually Visions here because they have
if we Vision, we can get into another. If we can get into another trap.
Oh yeah, that would be sweet. That's a really good point. The decklist should be, chat is asking, the decklist should be available on the Cardboard Live overlay if you've got that enabled. You can also just type !deck. And that's gonna give you the link. Okay, now we even have force up. And the opponent is in trouble. Okay, there's... What is this gonna be? Probably...
Yeah, I'm feeling really good where we're at right now.
I think we're just letting this resolve, right?
Yeah. Do we?
Yeah, I think...
Yeah,
we wanted to fight...
We're not gonna
fight over something, it's probably gonna be the Fatal Push, I would say.
Yeah, we don't wanna pitch a Mind Funeral or an Ancestral Recall.
Ancestral Recall, you say that, it makes me feel so good. Opponent has 10 cards in hand. It's like, yeah, do your thing.
He's like, I got one land and a Delver. What you got?
So he's only got 1 Force of Will left in the deck, and maybe 2 Force of Negations, and 2 Dazes again. Okay. And there's only 1 Wasteland left in the deck as well. Okay. All of this makes me feel good.
Yeah, I like the information this deck gives you, like knowing what your opponent still has left for the most part. Like, I feel really comfortable when I'm like halfway in the game on this deck.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, so now we could actually do it again, hit them for 13, but we're down to 7. Like, that's a little scary. I kind of want to fight over that.
I would lead on the push.
Yeah. Let's do that. Oh, F6 again, so that makes it that we probably should just Mind Funeral them, right?
Yeah.
Let's do that.
This should hit for a good amount. This might not. I don't think it's going to kill them, but they might have
3 cards.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
Oh my god.
Funerals that can be really good.
Oh my god. Oh yeah.
And then they're looking at their hand and they're like, can I win with this?
I've got like 7 cards left in my hand and like half of them probably don't even do anything.
Like,
oh man, we can even like... Yeah.
Like Tarmogoyf, please.
And we even get them on the Colosseum, right? Because they can't even do anything about that. There's no stifles or nothing. What is this gonna be? Is it actually gonna be Tarmogoyf? Oh, it's Hooting Mandrills, yeah. We don't care, right?
Yeah.
And Delver, yeah. We're just gonna get them with the Colosseum. Easy game. Opponent,
thanks
for playing. Here we go.
Back up for Stifle if they have it.
Yeah. Okay, opponent, you drew all the cards in your deck, kinda. Are we... Chat is asking where we can't visions them. This is not exactly Ancestral, we can only target us. I don't know if you're seeing chat, but actually Ultimate Price is making an awesome... Ultimate Price has an awesome observation in the chat. Opponent doesn't realize that you can't flip Delver if you have no deck.
That's great.
Oh man. Okay, this is good. This is really good.
Okay, so what I would bring in, what would I bring in? Maybe Ashiok because of the Mandrill's Delve might be. I don't know if I even really like that, but Tutelage. Nah, I don't know if I'd really want to even really bring in that much.
Yeah, Tutelage is probably too slow, because I expect our opponent to be a little bit faster than our previous opponent with regards to our clock, right? So Tutelage is probably like not gonna do it.
Like Lily on a strength might be okay.
Yeah,
removal.
Like I think Forces once again is gonna be something I probably want to take out.
Yeah.
And I almost don't hate, like, I don't know if we are gonna be able to empty our hand for Ensnaring Bridge, but it could be good.
If we can stay lower than 3, like, it's not that tough to get under 3 cards for Delver.
That's true. And then they're gonna have something like 3 to 4 Pyroblasts again, so I could see Hydroblast.
Yeah, I would bring them. Or the Ashioks, but...
There's like the Ashioks. And then this is on the draw. It's probably like not good enough. Maybe this is just like not good enough for the deck in the first place.
This matchup.
Yeah, me neither. Oh, wait, and the 2 surgicals probably. Like I don't really want to lose life against them. So let's try this.
I'm gonna use the restroom 1 second after we figure out our mulligan.
Sure.
I'm just drinking some wine, so.
Which kind of wine? Californian wine?
Cabernet Sauvignon. Some cheaper stuff. Yosemite Road. Looks like a 2 for $9 bottles at 7-Eleven.
I'm drinking water, straight tap water, but I added. Well, we do that in Germany. Like it's carbonated water.
Oh, you got the sparkling.
Sparkling.
This hand. Oh, I don't like it.
You don't like it?
I mean it.
Like I also like it's not. It doesn't excite me, but
it's workable. Like it might be better than any random 6 we get. So.
Yeah. What I like so much about the hand is that the mana is going to be really good, but because we're like super wasteland proof, we have the archive trap for the random blowouts. We have days for like if they play something important on turn 2. We have hydroblast.
Like I figure we're gonna daze like whenever they try to put out like just a Delver, just to like cut off their early pressure.
Yeah, we probably can't daze the Delver unless they play turn 2, but even then we can't. But we can hit the Dredger Arcanist on turn 2, which is part of why I like it. We probably can also hydroblast.
Yeah, let's keep it. Yeah, the hydroblast actually makes it kind of a lot better for that.
I really like keeping hands like this on the draw as well, just because we virtually have one more card that we don't know about. And when I look at this card at this hand, and then I'm told like, oh, you've actually got one more card, I'm like, oh, this is actually okay. Okay, so I'm gonna wait for you to return. I'm gonna just like, wait here.
Okay, real quick.
Yeah, sure. So, anybody else about to pick up Mill and chat right now? By the way, the archive trap. We could have actually used the archive trap on the first turn. I missed that. I'm so not used to playing with archive trap. Absolutely not. But I guess there's a world where we still archive trap using scheming symmetry and protect it with days. Like, oh, can we actually do that like on the second turn? Almost, right? A lot of people would say that the trash captain, yes. Awesome. So I just realized I clicked through their first turn too quickly, so we could have archive trap on the first turn, but that could have been dazed, so I'm not even sure if that would have been better. We can try to set up for a double archive trap again, either on turn 2 or on turn 3, depending on what the opponent does.
Yeah, I feel like, archive trap, there's not really a rush to do it, other than maybe seeing what we're against and maybe take out some win cons, but, whether we do it later in the game or earlier in the game, it's not bad to do it later.
So maybe we just ponder here, and then if they tap out on their turn, we can try for some archive trap play. Actually, no, wait, maybe we shouldn't ponder because we want to keep the ponder for the skill. But we can find more cantrips on the ponder anyway, so maybe we do that. Yeah. Better use of our mana.
More cards.
We can find more cantrips. Oh, Liliana's Triumph is probably going to be okay, right? So... what if we just keep Liliana's Triumph and Visions, and then on our next turn we fetch so we don't draw the Underground Sea? Yeah. It actually seems like it's good. Let's try that. No shuffle. Pass. Chilliest he can daze the chat is asking me, and that's actually a mistake I made as well. I thought that you could archive trap with a fetch land on the stack, but you can actually only archive trap after the fetch land has resolved, at which point they are actually going to have a land in play.
Yeah, they need party searched and stuff.
Yeah. So they found Force of Negation. We don't care about those pitch counters too much, I think, because they are also quite resource intensive for them. And it feels like they didn't have another land. That's good. What if we... or actually tell me what you would do, so we can
I mean, I really want a Liliana. I want a Triumph, but I don't want it to get dazed. Although we could daze back, but that doesn't feel that great.
Yeah.
But that's probably the best thing we could do right now, just because we don't have any like really big payoff spells.
Yeah, I also want a Liliana's Triumph, but I want to do it on their upkeep. So if they, we actually saw Spare Pierce when we milled them last game. So if they have like Spare Pierce or anything else, like even like a Spell Snare, then at least the mana is going to be tapped for the turn. Yeah, so let's just do it on the upkeep. Or, you know, if they play something at our end of turn, which is like super unlikely, then we could go for it and then Day Stun or something. Somebody in chat is asking, is the new mill card with Kicker, Maddening, Cacophony good in this deck? Or is the Kicker not relevant? I don't remember seeing it in the spoiler, so it didn't stick out to me. So, unless I missed it, it's probably not good enough, but I could have missed it. The only like real big mill card I saw was the Crab. The Crab almost reprint, which I'm excited for. Okay, opponent's probably like put in a weird position because they already have to think about this. Also, by the way, this also makes it so that they can't actually Force of Negation because that's their turn. Yeah, I guess
that actually
let resolve.
Made me remember a quote you said on one of your latest videos. The secret of Legacy is playing things that constantly make your opponent make decisions they don't want to make.
I stole that though.
That makes me.
I stole it.
You stole it, yeah.
I stole it from a famous poker player who said the key to no limit hold'em is to constantly put your opponents to decisions they don't want to make. And yeah, I think in Legacy it's very much the same. So yeah, I guess I kind of adapted it for Legacy.
I feel like that kind of does that.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel Legacy and Poke and are very similar in many ways. Okay, so... Do we just like Fatal Push on the upkeep again and see what happens?
Yeah, I mean, they're only at one land, and...
They could have drawn a land for the last turn. We can't really tell because they dazed, so they had a land drop anyway, but... I kind of want to do that. It also, like, maybe it drives them nuts eventually, and they would just, like, pitch their Force of Negation to a Force of Will or something.
They're like, yeah, because they don't know what's coming, really.
I had to stop here. You see that? It didn't go... I probably clicked too late. Okay, now that they're tapped out like this, I think we actually should Fatal Push. Yeah, let's do that. This is like... It ended up working out for us. We could actually hardcast Days on this. I don't hate that.
It'd be great if we had, like, a Brain Freeze this turn and they cast... Well, I guess they don't have much.
Honestly, though, we probably should let this resolve because, I mean, we can use the Days to protect ourselves if they don't find a land here. And this is, like, not something we care about.
I just think at this point, like, they're just trying to dig for stuff. Like, the fact that they're on one land, they're probably trying to find a land. So if we counter this, we might cut them off of just having mana.
That's
when we don't really need it right now.
Yeah, the thing is, we can't really abuse that, though, because then if you go to our turn and we do the Scheming Symmetry into double Archive Trap play, then they can at least force one of the Archive Traps or the Scheming Symmetry. Whereas if they fail to find a land on the Preordain, which is like a thing that could happen, then we can actually use the Days to protect ourselves against the Force of Negation.
Okay, yeah, let's do that.
I like that, yeah. So, somebody in chat actually linked the new card. Let's actually quickly take a look at this. Is this gonna be good enough for Mill? 2 mana. Oh, Mill's 8 cards. I was actually wondering, I wanted to ask you about this. It's worse than the...
Half their library.
Unthinkable.
I like that. Yeah, that's better than Glimpse. And you don't even have to have the black for it.
It's 6 mana though, but I could be talked into this being a thing for sure.
Even 2 for 8 is not bad.
2 for 8.
Not having to have the black.
So maybe that's actually gonna become a thing. Okay, so this is cool. So they fetched and they're about to tap out for something. So
now we Daze.
Oh, dude, we can do everything now. This is crazy. Yeah, we can.
Or we could Vision. This, right? Or no, Visions is not good here. Yeah, I would Daze.
So basically the thing is, what do we value higher? Do we value the Archive Trap higher or the Daze? I think we actually Archive Trap, and then we find out whether they have Force of Will, and then we can make up our mind whether we want to Daze this or the Force of Will. I think that's...
I like that. I value the Daze higher right now because I really don't want to face a Mandrills right now.
Yeah, I agree. Same here. Oh, they just did nothing, okay. I'm scared they might have a daze, even though like the way they played, like it doesn't feel like, just because of sixing and stuff. But that's not really something you can like draw conclusions from on paper, right?
I think they would like force the trap if they had it, or dazed. Well, they wouldn't have dazed that.
Okay, let's see. Man, sometimes I wish we could have like red in the deck, because then like if this was a Pyroblast, that would be so sweet. But it would probably like tear the mana apart.
So if they
it worked.
Okay, cool.
Awesome. So they still have the. Oh, they might not have the Force of Negation anymore. They had a Brainstorm there at some point, right? Or did we? What happened to? Oh no, we milled the Brainstorm. So they probably still have the Force of Negation, yeah. Unless there's a Brainstorm here. No. Okay. So we're still playing against that. I think, yeah, at this point
we're doing okay.
Yeah. So we could do our Archive Trap play, but then basically we are trading 2 cards for 2 cards. Well, like this is -1 card, and then we trade for something.
And we're still protected against daze, but not like they could force it, but I wouldn't feel that bad. I wouldn't feel that bad if they forced, because they're just like down to 3 cards then.
Yeah, the thing is, we also use the visions if we do that, and if we use the visions is not that far off from becoming active. Maybe I just wait. I don't know.
Hold off.
So you like waiting here as well?
What's that?
You like waiting, just passing the turn?
Yeah, I like waiting, because we're not really in any pressure right now.
So let's try that. I'm actually happy that 2 Hooting Manders are already gone, because that card scares me.
Yeah.
You don't have many ways to actually like attack with that.
Arcanist, maybe?
I think they would have played the Arcanist without fetching. So that's probably like... I think it's actually Clothis. Oh, you're right, it's Arcanist. So is there... Like, do we fight on the stack, or do we let it resolve?
This could be really dirty if it starts getting... Well, I would Hydroblast.
Yeah. The thing is, I want them to tap out for something else, so I can Hydroblast it without being scared of Veil of Summer.
Or Veil, yeah. Maybe we just let it resolve, since we don't have to worry about it next turn.
Yeah, I like that. And we're gonna Hydroblast it at the end of turn, once again not giving them the chance to use their Force of Negation. Actually having 2 scheming symmetries is somewhat awkward. I wouldn't mind finding a Brainstorm to like shuffle away one of them. Because people are never gonna force scheming symmetry, because it's like -1 card advantage.
And they're also like, what the hell is this? I get a card. Why would I counter it?
People would be like, oh, you're so bad, you're giving me my best card. Like, never mind, gonna mill it.
Huh.
Okay, that worked as well. Gets them even closer to... Oh god, no, the third one... Oh god, no. Oh, the third one is so bad. Oh.
I want to right now, but we don't need to.
No, if you play it, then they're gonna put like a really good creature on top and we're gonna die to it. So right now I think our best bet is for them to not draw anything relevant.
Well, I'm just saying the visions, I was thinking of cycling that, but we're so close to it being threshold.
True, true.
Charmacoy. No.
Somebody's asking which game this is. I think it is the second game.
I think he's gonna do Oko.
Oko, sure. Oko is, yeah, somewhat gonna kill us somewhat quickly, but I mean, there's a chance. The lands. This is slowly getting out of control.
This is where I would get, let's see, if we get... Oh, man.
We basically need to get Brainstorm almost, because the other symmetries are so bad.
Like I was thinking for a second, if we land symmetry for a glimpse, visions into glimpse. I don't know.
The thing is, anything we get of the symmetry into visions into the top of our deck is gonna be Force of Negated.
That's true. Yeah. I mean, 3 cards. Oh, you know that's in his hand.
Yeah. We also gotta play a little faster because we only have 7 minutes left, and we probably need to win a third game from the looks of it right now. I think that one of the few ways we can actually win this one is if we draw brain freezes, like 1 or 2 brain freezes. That's probably the best way. Oh, visions. So now we can actually do like double scheming symmetry into visions. You know, should we just like start trying?
Yeah, let's just go for it.
Let's just go for it, yeah. I mean, they can hardcast their Force of Negation, but so be it. Maybe they're even gonna... Like, if we can trade this for a Force of Negation, it would be insane.
We could even put, like, a Brainstorm on top and Visions into a Brainstorm just to get more cards and put away the other symmetries.
Mm-hmm. I was actually wondering whether we wanna get a Brain Freeze, so we can go, like, Visions, Brain Freeze, and then the second Visions is gonna be turned on. I actually don't hate that. How about that? Is that crazy? Because no. Brain Freeze is the only payoff spell we can get that doesn't get countered by Force of Negation.
Yeah. I just don't know if they're just gonna hold back on the Oko at this point. Whatever you think. Whatever you want to do.
I think the best chance that we have is Brain Freeze here. Because there's... Like, technically we could also get Cephalic Colosseum, activate Cephalic Colosseum on them, which turns on both of our visions. I actually don't hate that.
It's up to you. I'm kind of torn right now.
Have I played a land this turn? No, I have not. I think I'm actually gonna get the Colosseum. And the thing is about the Colosseum, that's also so bad.
Visions next turn, yeah.
No, I'm also stupid because like we're not drawing the card right away. We need to use the visions to draw them because now we can actually give them their best card. So I'm not even sure if that was like smart. Yeah, this is like when you draw too many symmetries, that's probably like the main reason not to play 4 symmetries, right? Even the second symmetry is already like so hard.
I think 2 is good. Work. Maybe good with
2
that.
Sounds good, yeah. Okay, here comes the Hydroblast again. Red Blast, okay. Oh no, now if you shuffle... Okay, actually that's something I just learned. So we gotta, or I guess I gotta be more aware of like if we do some kind of like complicated scheming symmetry, vision, double visions play, then we should actually use our fetch lands first.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's see what they put on top. They must have put something good on top.
So we have 2 turns?
Depending on how many lightning bolts they have, but I really gotta hurry here, I think. Because of the time. Like, the time's the biggest issue in the third game. So maybe we're not playing optimally here, but at least we can try to set up something. So what if we go like this? Just have a player.
I mean, it's going to get countered most likely, but...
Yeah, at this point we're really just like fishing for information.
Yeah.
I think... Okay, you know what? Let's waste the time here because we're not winning this one. Let's just jump into the last game.
Yeah, I agree.
By the way, chat is asking which kind of mill spells are you actually getting compared to, I would guess, Modern or something. The biggest thing is that we get to run stuff like Force of Will, Brain Freezes. Those are just like such big deals. Mana base is gonna be so much better. Actually, not so much. Like this is in Modern as well, I guess. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So well, any changes?
Deal, though. I mean,
yeah, really big deal, especially against the combo decks, right?
Yeah, that gives us a better leg on anything that's faster than us.
Oh yeah, and Overwatch in chat saying, do brainstorms and ponders count? Like very much, like especially the brainstorms, right? That's a really good point. Anything want to change? Nothing sticks out to me really. I guess I don't hate the Brazen Borrowers. Like if we get to bounce there, what do they call? On the other hand, they are gonna have so much cards inside in their graveyard though. but I don't hate them. But there's nothing else I want to. No, I like it. I like it this way. I was considering this to bounce the 4/4 trample dudes.
Oh, the trample mandrills.
Mandrills, yeah, but at the same time, they're probably gonna have a pretty big graveyard ideally, and also Ashiok is basically like competing for the same slot. And on the play, I definitely like Ashiok more.
Would you rather
So
take
maybe we're
out
gonna try that.
one of the symmetries, or just keep it? Like,
We could actually take out a symmetry and bring in a Brazen Borrower. I don't hate that.
Yeah.
Let's try that.
Yeah, that's one reason. Like, I didn't initially like 4 Visions of Beyond, because I drew them so much without them being in threshold that it just seemed like they were cycling cards. So I wanted to make sure when I had them, they were like online.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm playing a little bit faster because of the time issue thingy. The hand looks okay. Maybe we can get like a random archive trap off that's gonna be protected from days. And then eventually we're just gonna start throwing Mind Funerals at them. We probably might even need to brainstorm on the second turn, just so we can try to hit our 3rd land drop. It's gonna be interesting whether we are gonna symmetry into brainstorm on the second turn even. Like, that opens us up a little bit to days, but on the other hand, if the opponent has 2 days on their first turn, that's like where it's the most painful.
Yeah. Because then we're that much closer to just like double Mind Funeraling.
Yeah.
Go back to back.
Okay, here comes the Derba. No fetch land yet. Visions. So I'm actually gonna fetch here just to get a... And we're gonna correct this one first. Oh, they have 6. Okay, I think we got them. They have 6, we got them. Oh, now they undid their F6. So you never know, but let's see. Imagine if we had 4 archive traps here.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe we're actually gonna draw a bunch more. Good thing is, we'll get to archive trap them either way, so no matter what they put on top, they're not gonna get it. No, F2 you can tell. Chat is asking, like, if they press F2, there's like a slight delay where they have priority. They might have left F6 or F4. No, F4 couldn't even work. They might have F6 and then pressed F3. Okay. The only thing we can't tell right now is whether the opponent's... No, actually, we are on the play. No, it's interesting. They first choose a card from... No, we choose a card from the library. So this is already resolving. I mean, we already chose Archive Trap. I'm getting confused. Like, every time time goes low, I'm getting nervous.
At least it's their clock.
Yeah. It's funny how much time they're taking to put something on top, and unless they have like 2 forces or like a force in days. Yeah. You could even make a case for like putting something really bad on top, but I mean, then if it's just a bluff, then it's like really awkward. By the way, Franco Bowley, thank you so much for the 6 months in the Glimpse chain. Just saw your message. Thank you so much for joining us. So, you know what we could actually do? We could archive trap them. Oh no, that doesn't put 20 in the graveyard though. Okay, never mind. Okay, so... Oh, we didn't find the extra land. That's unfortunate. But we can Visions next turn. Yeah, we basically put just 2 Mind Freedoms back and then... Oh, now we even found the days to protect us if you have to. Man, this is already... This is so heavy hitting, man. I hope they didn't have like a random Emrakul.
One of Emrakul in the deck.
You know, a friend of mine does it. Jeff Lynn, he plays Esparwile. And for quite a while, he really just had like a random Emrakul in his deck, in his sideboard. Because he said there's actually enough matchups where it just matters. Like against Show and Tell. If you put it into play, they just like lose. Okay, hurrying up here, just passing the turn. So they lost a bunch of
Delvers.
Stuff.
So they only have 1 Delver left.
Why does everybody bring in Surgical against us? There must be a reason. Okay, so this flipped using Red Elemental Blast, so let's keep that in mind. That's probably gonna go after our Visions now. Great. That's true. I hope they tap out for Dread or Darkness here. Oh, this is Mandrels. This looks like Mandrels. Okay, but I think that's gonna be okay. Because then our Visions are actually quite likely to resolve because we can protect them with days. And then maybe we can even Fatal Push the Insect Aberration. So here we basically try to draw. they're gonna Hydro Red Element Blast, we're gonna Daze, and hopefully they don't have anything else.
And then Fatal Push.
The Delver, yeah. If they Red Blast here and we Daze, then we can even play the Fatal Push Daze Protected because we can replay the land. Okay. I think this is where they go balls to the wall. This is where they, if they have a force, they force here. Yeah. Like 3 cards is a big deal. For us, it also hurts us a little bit that we lose the land drop. But we were gonna lose the land drop anyway because we didn't have a land.
And if they have nothing else, we saw 4 turns with the Mandrills.
True. That's actually something, maybe, if we want to work more on the sideboard, maybe we want to have something that hits the Mandrills. I'm not sure what that would be, like a removal spell.
Like, I was thinking that was with the Drown and the Locks. Like, things like that.
Oh, okay. I see. That actually makes sense. Maybe that's really worth doing it, like, because the Plague Engineer really didn't impress me, honestly.
Yeah, I don't really... Like, with the Graph Tickers, I don't worry about the Plague Engineer so much versus, like, Elves.
True. Okay, so now it's really gonna be tough because we're gonna draw a Mind Funeral for the next turn, so we're basically guaranteed to go down to 7 here. So if they have anything that adds more pressure to the board, we might actually be dead. Like, even just Dreadhorde Arcanist. Okay, it depends on if they have like a lightning board left. This is another close game, but here we pass. Oh, they forgot to attack last turn.
What?
Yeah, they forgot to attack with their Hooting Mandrills. Okay.
That's fun.
Let's see. I mean, it might not change the
clock.
clock.
That wouldn't happen in paper, huh?
I've seen it happen in paper.
Really?
I've actually seen it happen in paper several times where people are just like, they're usually like super deep into a ponder or a brainstorm, and then eventually they figure it out, and they're like so happy they figured it out, and they just say go, and... Chiliest in chat is suggesting Submerge as well. I think Submerge could also be something we could consider.
I thought of that. I thought about Snuff Out. I thought about Snuff Out because we don't worry about...
Snuff Out, yeah.
I mean, I guess it's a lot of life, but in certain matchups, maybe we want to take that just for a free card.
So, are we dead? No, we are not dead next turn, so we're gonna use the Ponder to maybe find a land. I have 2 cards in hand. Could be a Spell Pierce. No, the Spell Pierce in the graveyard. Maybe they got more Spell Pierces. That's not doing it.
Oh.
That's not doing it. Send this away. Find a land. We found a land, okay. So there's a chance that the Mind Funerals are gonna do it, right?
How many lands do they have in the graveyard?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 3 in play. That's 8. It's probably not gonna do it then.
That's it?
I think that the scariest thing right now is that they're gonna draw 2 more cards of the Dreadhorde Arcanists. And not even like random cards, but cantrip cards. So they're gonna have like 5 cards in hand, and we need to resolve the Mind Funeral through it.
Oh, yeah.
I wonder whether there's like a world where this deck can somehow play white. I don't know, I want to play white because we really don't care about the live game from Swords to Plowshares.
Yeah.
And I mean, technically, we could also play Path to Exile. You know, Path to Exile could actually be a thing if we get 8 crabs.
you know what I originally had in there that were taken out were the Guild Enforcers with the Death Touch. So like I could surprise block and take out something like a Vandals and still the pressure and a mill on top of that. You know, it kind of has a lot of functions.
Yeah, I remember you suggesting the cards, but maybe the Death Touch, or maybe actually Baleful Strix. Honestly. Like, maybe just Baleful Strix is good enough for the deck. Like, it gives us the extra
we
card.
Should have some prime blockers.
Yeah, I like that. So, we're up against 4 cards, and we can Mind Funeral them.
I don't think we're going to win off that, because they have so many lands. They have to have so many lands in their deck still.
The thing is, what can we find off the Brainstorm that would do it? I think there's nothing you can find off... Like, technically a Scheming Symmetry play... But
Yeah, I don't think that would even do it.
I think it would. Oh no, it's 13, right? So that wouldn't do it. You're right. So like a crazy break. I think the only way
Unless
this
we went,
works if it's like.
I mean, I could see there being. Did we already do our cephalid?
No, we still have Cephalid Coliseum.
I could see like a mind break trap cephalid type situation if we put back two of the mind funerals.
You mean Archive Trap?
Or yeah, symmetry, archive trap. Oh wait, but we're still missing the cephalid. Yeah, I don't know if there's any way we can win this one.
I think we gotta try because we already know that the Mind Funeral is not gonna kill them. Yeah, that's maybe no. There's no way we can.
Mandrills, but they're just
Yeah,
gonna.
but they have.
Do
Yeah,
they
I
have
guess we can actually block the Mandrills. You're right. We can actually block the Mandrills. And then there's a word where we take enough damage, right? Because we take 2 of the Mandrills and 2 of those, so that's exactly.
Oh, because it's triple. Sorry, yeah. Yeah.
Maybe we can find another. I was gonna say maybe we can find another crab, but that wouldn't do it. But we can ponder into another
push.
So if we ponder into Fatal Push and they literally got nothing, right? So let's see, maybe that's gonna work. Always play to your odds. How many lands got exiled to Hooting Mandrills? Oh, that's actually a really good point.
I forgot the exile.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
So they might
6,
only be on about
7,
5 left.
8, 9, 10, 11, plus 4, that's 15. So they should have 4 left. 4, yeah, 4 is usually what they play. I think they played 19 in this one. So it could have worked.
So that... I forgot
see.
about the exile.
Yeah, me too, me too. That doesn't do it. So we need exactly Fatal Push if that, yeah, there's 1 left in the deck, or 2. Brain freeze. Okay, too bad. So let's see whether the opponent's maybe gonna fuck it up, but it looks like they got it.
Wasn't too far off, though.
Yeah, and I think if we get a better side part, or maybe we find a way to play Baleful Strixes, that would actually be really sweet. Because you noticed, the opponent actually took out all their Lightning Bolts. We haven't seen any Lightning Bolts this game. There's like Pyroblast, but those are already trying to get our big mill spells and the crabs. So I could really see Baleful Strix being good.
Yeah, they don't seem to be too worried about creature stuff. Like they're not even really worried about the crabs that much.
So yeah, this is exactly enough. Okay.
Yeah, I really don't like the engineer in the board.
Yeah, should definitely get rid of that. Should definitely get rid of the engineer.
The tutelage, I feel like can be something better.
True. I'm also not sure whether we need the big thing about the bridge is that it's good against turbo depth or any kind of dark depth, but we already have Brazen Borrow against them, which is nice.
And the 3 mana is really like a whole turn.
True.
Like the 3 mana spells really got to be like game changing.
So like if you look at stuff that we could change, like it's the tutelage, it's this one, it's this one. So this one, I'm also not too sure on the Hydroblast. Like the idea was that they can counter the Dreadhorde Arcanist, but I'm not super sold on. This is like the 4 cards I'd be looking at right now, something like this.
I can almost see like keeping the 2 surgicals in the main and then making the Hydros another 2 surgicals, because there's a lot of games that I really find there's a card or 2 that I just really don't want to deal with at all, and I want, like, if I have to give up 2 life to not have to deal with that card.
Yeah, the thing is, like, you lose, unless you hit something in the hand, you also go down a card, which is like a big deal. So you get like some strategic long-term advantage, but you lose a card, which is such a big deal in a critical mass deck. That's why I initially wasn't super sold on the surgicals.
So what if we put what if we change the surgicals to just 2 drown the lock?
Yeah, I could see that. Like, I kind of want the 4th visions, but I could see that for sure. Maybe I could even see like Fatal Push being cut for Baleful Strix, just because I think Baleful Strix could be really good in this deck. Oh, we wanted to cut the symmetry, right? So we'd have like 3, like basically these are 6 flag slots. These 6 that I'm looking at, and that's I think something we could work with. I kind of want the 4th.
Like 1 vision, like 1 vision, 3 Strix.
1 vision, 3 Strix. Yeah, then we'd have 2 more slots that we can work with. Maybe, you know, I have no idea when the crabs are gonna come out, but maybe we can also like work more crabs into that.
I can see 2 more of the crabs. I don't know about 8 crabs. That might be a little much, but
I will surely be trying 8 crabs. I will be trying 8 crabs. This looks good, right?
Yeah, I love this.
We got a sweet curve. Maybe the opponent is a deck that doesn't have any kind of creature removal, in which case I guess we're in trouble either way because then they're a combo. Yours, okay.
I smell it.
Have we played against this person before? Yeah, we played against him in the first round. Welcome back. Oh no, oh no, oh no, oh god, I'm so sorry. This is the mono black reanimator guy.
Yeah, that's not a great hand against them.
Oh, let's see. So in the second game, they actually sided out basically all their graveyard stuff, if I remember correctly. So let's, yeah, maybe we can just like quickly overpower them. We could ponder for something like a force here, but I think I'd rather hope that they just like don't have anything turn 2, and then we can actually really make the crap work.
Or we could try to. Oh, never mind. I was gonna say we could ponder into a. Since it's game 1, we can surgical.
A cage. Oh, surgical. Yeah, yeah. The thing that actually scares me is their potential to just get the hardcore stuff of the Lake of the Dead, which they have.
Or they probably wouldn't have Iona main. I don't even think I saw Iona.
No, they don't have Iona at all. They only have Grave Titan and Grizzlebrand. Should we just like go super hard on them? Like mill them for 16 this turn? Yeah, I like that. I guess we can see what we mill here.
It just sucks that our strategy kind of helps them. I thought about also just putting in voids.
Ley lines.
Yeah, ley lines just...
That's not horrible. I don't hate that.
And that shuts off like the Dread Horde or the Snapcaster or, you know, the Met, you know, any kind of delve situation too. It's more than just the...
I wouldn't bring them in against any kind of like Delver deck, but right now against the graveyard decks that are actually seeing play in Legacy right now, Leyline is probably the best you can have. So maybe Leyline over cages, then we're a little bit softer to elves. Maybe we can actually like kill elves with Brainstorm. Like if they go for a Glimpse turn, maybe we can like with like a Glimpse trigger on this deck, we Brainstorm them. I can imagine that being fun. Oh yeah. I mean, we still lose if they get... Oh wow, we just keep doing this. We still lose if they get Crowd of Behemoth and stuff, but I mean, you can't beat them all. So here we just...
I'm not even really worried about Ashen Rider that much. It's kind of not that much damage.
It might not be fast enough, yeah. I'm actually not using the Polluted Delta here because I don't want to put a Grizzlebrand into the graveyard in case they have another reanimation spell. Like, Grave Titan would already be enough of a problem, but... Let's just take the 4 damage.
You do not need a Grizzlebrand.
Yeah. And I'm not fetching here in case we draw Brainstorm. Okay, we didn't draw Brainstorm, but we got this. So basically, we're basically saving 3 milk. Oh, there's the Grizzlebrand. Never mind. I was gonna say we're basically like saving a mill for 3.
It might be worth doing so we can take out some reanimation spells.
Yeah, but I guess the idea is that we make variants work in our way. Yeah, I can see that. See that the thing is usually it comes down to the same type plays as a creature. Okay, usually it comes down to the same thing because the ratio of reanimation spells to non-reanimation spells is gonna be the same after we milled them. The upside, of course, is that there's like a super variant scenario where we hit all of their reanimation spells. There's also a super variant scenario where we hit like none of their reanimation spells and we dig them towards it. So usually it's not worth it to do. Unless the opponent is like on a very soft out, like if they only have like 1 or 2 actual really big outs, then I like that. Okay, Archive Trap, huh? Yep. Did they actually have anything to search their library? Because we might actually take out like an Archive Trap or 2.
I do not see any Entombs, which is interesting.
Yeah, they're really not that focused on getting this off. So I'm basically I'm discounting the force.
I never saw any Entombs the first match either.
Oh, there's an Entomb, by the way. Here it is. Just saw it.
Oh, there we go. Okay.
So So now that we have 3 mana, we can already cast Mind Funeral, so we don't need to play the Swamp. We can discard the Swamp.
Like at this point, a Mind Funeral might be fatal. Or lethal. Or whatnot.
Yeah. What I wanted to say is, like, earlier when I discarded the Force, and also when we're discarding the Swamp here, like, there's a scenario where we draw Scheming Symmetry. The only thing is it doesn't kill them. Oh, well, never mind. We're not gonna have any kind of card. So we need Mind Funeral now, and we hope that kills them. Man, those Lilianas. Like, yeah, this is actually much more of, like, a big mana deck than it is a reanimation deck. Like, what does he actually have? There's, like, 4...
Black ramp.
Yeah, Black... Oh, that's Mind Funeral. Okay, let's see...
Does this do it?
Chat, send us your energy.
This would be so
send
funny.
Us your energy. Oh no! Oh, are you fucking kidding me? You see this?
Are you kidding me? Oh
yeah.
my god!
It's like M2 swamp.
Huge though on a deck like this. That is funny.
Oh god. Okay, now we're dead here.
I'll give that to him.
We had a shot, I guess. So there's really only 4 animate deaths, which is actually not that many. There's like no Exhumes, there's no reanimates, and we didn't see any of... No, there's reanimate, okay.
So they only had how many?
So animate dead, I would guess...
I see 3 and 2.
Okay. This is so awkward. So they do have some kind of Graveyard game plan, but it's not like super pronounced.
I do have a deck
awkward.
that's built that's like really similar to this, which basically is like Lake of the Dead, Grave Titan, Ritual, Grizzlebrand. It does have a Dark Depths kind of thing. But yeah, I would...
So I'm looking at these cards here. Oh. It's really awkward.
Like to me, the Mind Funerals seem really slow, but to a deck like this that has very few land counts, it could be
good, yeah.
Good.
The thing is, they're not running fetch lands. Like, I think one way you get a lot of decks in the late game is every fetch land basically counts for two lands removed from the deck. Like, if they are playing like a 20-card deck and they fetch like 3 times, that's like basically like a 14-card deck at this point.
I mean, I did see a decent amount of fetches, but not that many. Brain Freeze, I'm not really thinking that's so giant here. Like, if anything, it might hit him for like 9, but I don't see them doing it. Oh, unless so they get like a Grizzlebrand turn with Lotus Petals and Rituals and stuff. Never mind.
Yeah, that's the scenario I'm imagining there. Is there anything else that would make sense?
Crab's
I think this
kind of slow.
Crab is slow. Scheming Symmetry is not great, actually. Like, I guess Scheming Symmetry allows us to find Ensnaring Bridge. I don't actually hate that.
Because Crab's not really blocking anything and buying us a turn.
True. It's potentially, like, if we get Crab on the first turn, it's potentially our best mill spell, though. It feels a little bit awkward that we'd have Cage and Surgicals and 6 Forces.
Since they're especially the ramp, like in the ramp, I might even go to 1 Cage. But 2 seems okay. Which is our bad.
Don't have too much more time. I think let's take out 1 Scheming Symmetry. And... okay, let's take out a Daze. Let's take...
I like that.
Let's take out... yeah. Thing is, like, when they go crazy with their stuff, it's probably going to be on the first or second turn. And, yeah, on the second turn it's nice if you have Brain Freeze, I guess, but we gotta cut something. Chat is asking about Liliana's Triumph. The reason I'm not too high on Liliana's Triumph is that it's not good against, what's it called, Grizzlebrand. It's not good against Grave Titan. And those are the two main ways to win here.
I did like the Chain of Vapor. I kind of figured that would be maybe a more efficient way of doing what we really want that to do.
Yeah, that's basically the slot where I was suggesting the what's it called? The elf that we just the fairy that we just started in, Brazen Borrow. That's
because I'm just thinking of like mana. Like I've learned in playing this deck a lot. Like the mana, you really have to maximize how you're spending it to really get your payoffs off. And like Brazen Borrower just seems like it's really good, but it's like also 5 mana if you really fulfill everything it's going to do.
Yeah, the thing is, I look at it as it's a 2 mana thing, and then on top of that, you also get the creature. So that's like a bonus. Whereas Chain of Vapor, the thing is, you basically lose a card. Like if you if you follow me, thing is like I'm really, huh?
So you're just valuing the card value a lot more.
Yeah, exactly. Like I'm in a deck like this, I really want to have like as much stuff as I can and buy as much time as I can. I think Brazen Borrower on average will buy you more time than something like Chain of Vapor, because there's really not much we really want to bounce, right? I view that slot as like we randomly want to bounce stuff to gain time, not we want to bounce stuff to like that. Technically, they could have like a white leyline, but I guess both of those cards bounce that.
I'm thinking about this hand. I mean, it could be really good, but at the same time, the traps are helping them in some way. I'd probably put this back.
You would, really?
I mean, just.
The thing is, the traps put half their deck in the graveyard, and I think if that's not something we want to do, then we should have sided them out.
Oh, we're on the play too. Okay, never mind. Yeah, we're on the play. Yeah, let's keep this.
Yeah, and the thing that really makes me want to keep this is actually the Brainstorm, because if you have like decent mana and some potential payoff and a Brainstorm, okay, Leyline, we don't care, right? Why is everybody bringing like Leyline and Surgicals against us?
Yeah, right? That's kind of funny.
Like, okay, sure, do your thing. Be my guest.
Well, he had the Helm of Obedience, remember?
True. But that's already asking for a lot. But I guess they could actually kill us in the second turn. So let's try this.
It wouldn't take too long for him to ramp into it.
True. Lightning. Watch us die to it second turn now.
Like dead.
Which card do you value the highest here?
Man, I would put away the Force, or the. I'd put away the. Yeah, I'd put away the. Oh man, that's tough between the Force and the Daze. Either or, it's kind of a 50-50 for me. Or I'd put it just away a Prismatic and a Delta. Let's pitch. Man, that's up to you, man. This is kind of a tough one.
So I was initially gonna put the island on top and then the Force of Will on top. So, but there's also a scenario where we daze the Durs, I guess. I'm not too big a fan of that, honestly. Like, I kind of wanna just hit my drops here.
We're trying to race them, really.
Yeah, I think I wanna put the island and then the Force of Will on top, and then I let them take whatever they want, basically.
I'll probably take a trap.
I think they might actually take the daze. Unless they actually have something to search their library, but even then they probably won't care. And yeah, then... I mean, it's pretty obvious that we probably have something okay here, but... Maybe they just don't have another discard spell they're gonna play, right? Oh no, this is him. Yeah, this one we just gotta let happen. Hope that we get to keep... Okay, we got one of those. I would have loved to keep the Force, honestly. Okay, let's fetch here. Wait, didn't I fetch? What the fuck?
This is not a really fortunate hand for us in this matchup.
Yeah, this is slowly getting a little bit.
He's never going to search too. Now that he knows we have that.
True. And here comes probably like a big guy. Grave Titan. Okay, that's a problem. The only way we can actually beat that is bridge. Oh my god, those can actually... Oh, they can still fetch enough islands, okay. But we're gonna be dead. So we basically need bridge next turn, and then the zombies can still attack us, but they're only gonna take us down to... Okay, yeah, that's... We're already asking for a lot here. Basically, if we get bridge next turn, we're gonna have 2 cards in hand, so they can attack us for 8, so we're gonna go down to exactly lethal. No, never mind.
This is where the Strix would be helpful.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Strix just like trading for this, and then, I mean, this is still around, but at least we get
to
take this one out. Oh, six. Yeah, would have also drawn us a card. Yeah, this is. We're
tough.
just dead here. Too bad.
Yeah.
Oh, we got the really bad matchup twice.
Yeah, he wasn't so good for us. If he was straight at Reanimator, I think we would have had like much better.
A much better shot. Like, we can control the graveyard pretty well, but once they start hardcasting their stuff, our deck really doesn't have too much to put up against that. So, you know what? Actually, let's just like make the changes that we were just talking about. We can do that. We got the technology. We just pretend that we have all the cards in Magic Online.
-1 symmetry. Did you want to do that? I mean, I love the game plan with the traps, but I feel like when we draw too many symmetries, it's just bad.
Yeah, exactly. Like the one game where against Delva where I felt like we could actually be like in a decent position. And then we ended up not being because we drew too many symmetries. That's the kind of game that I think we could have actually won if we had something like, I don't know, Baleful Strix and stuff.
And then were you thinking of taking out the Hydroblast for something else?
Something over here, right? So
or the
this is this is basically the raw thing. Maybe not, like, you can even maybe even cut a cage. Actually, what if we cut cage for ley lines? Didn't we, like, mention ley lines?
Yeah, instead of surgicals, so, like, take all the surgicals out and
then have, like, a strong ley line and protect the ley line plane post-board.
Just as a free way, like, that'll free up mana. We don't have to spend life.
Something like this. And, oh yeah, you mentioned, what's it called? The 2-mana counter spell, destroy a creature.
Drown in the Lock.
Drown in the Lock. So that's basically. I'm not too sure about that, but it could be good enough. Oh no! You know what I also liked? It's a 2 of yeah, something like this.
Like I feel like that's a clutch kind of card.
Mm-hmm. Overall, I just feel like I want more actual mill spells because I've always felt like we were a little bit light on mill spells. Glimpse was okay, but not super amazing to me. Like 10 is basically where I want to be. Chat is suggesting Snapcaster Mage. I guess the cutest thing we can do with Snapcaster Mage is Visions.
Not the Snapcaster, but the sorcery. I think it was in Guilds of Ravnica. It was kind of basically a Snapcaster effect. You know what I'm talking about?
The mission briefing thing that's basically also gives you a mill for 2.
Yeah, mission briefing. Yeah, so I thought about doing that too. I just felt like it ate up too much mana, really, like to flashback something.
Yeah, I think
we're not at that much mana. Like we're expecting to be at about a 3 mana most games.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So that's why I'm also like so and so on the Drown the Lock. I'm really looking forward to more craps. I don't know, like if you want to do like only a couple of those.
Yeah, if we could get 2 of those. I thought about dropping one more land, even though I know like there's some games we really want another land. Like 16 might be a little short, but just to kind of push. I don't know if that's too few.
We have a ton of cantrips. Like we do have it would probably be Colosseum, and we do have a ton of cantrips.
Because think about like what Colosseum has done so far. Like it's kind of like a really niche kind of win, but I've never had a game that was defined by Colosseum in this deck. So like it seems like it's nice, but it's not really. Like I would almost want it to be another fetch land, if anything.
Yeah, I want to add more. Like I want to add as many fetch lands as I can. So it's probably like another Flooded Strand at that point. I guess it could be anything that's blue. It could also be a Misty Rainforest or something. So if you just like want to switch it up a little bit. Pivot in chat is asking, do you like the 5/5 flying for 1 blue instead of the Strix?
Yeah, so I had
Chase Phantasm.
I originally had the Jace's Phantasm. A 2 of and a 3 of the Guild Enforcer, and that was basically my removal. So, for 1 blue you get a 5/5 flyer because most of the time they're going to have 10 cards in their graveyard. That's basically a blocker for anything other than Merit Lodge and Grizzlebrand. So like that was kind of my one blue removal, and the enforcer for everything on the ground, which also doubled as the another mill spell. And I thought about even putting on the sideboard some like maybe one what's the enchantment that makes fairies? Sorry.
Bitter Blossom.
Bitter Blossom, yeah. I thought about putting a Bitter Blossom in there because the Golden Force is also trigger off of those coming in every turn. So every turn you get 2 and you get a blocker.
Or another rogue enters the battlefield under your control. Oh,
yeah,
I see. That's cute.
so you get a blocker and you get a mill spell every turn without spending any mana. And I thought that was kind of interesting.
So if you got 2 of those and then you get 1 Bitter Blossom, you mill for 4. I see. So, the thing is, to go back to the initial question, so basically the reason I don't like the Phantasm, the 5/5, is it doesn't draw a card. And basically Baleful Strix does the same thing, but actually better because of the Death Touch. And I guess on top of that, no, actually both are blue.
That's true. So really you're exchanging a blue for a card.
Or black mana for a card, or the way depends on how it goes. Yeah.
Well, you have
I really want the extra card draw.
Yeah, so you want the replacement effect, so you can get another mill spell.
Yeah. I don't hate this card. I don't know. I could get sold on this card. I don't know, man.
It's on the border, but I think I might be more on board with the Strix just because.
Yeah. Oh, well, yeah, definitely. I'm on board with the Strix. I was just like wondering whether we could somehow work more of those into the deck because I'm not so sold on the Mind Funerals. I don't know.
Like the Mind Funeral,
2 could be okay.
Like I don't mind having the 2 Mind Funerals in there. Like I don't want to go too heavy on that plan, but it is kind of like a really nice, like you saw in some of these games, like we were banking on drawing that as our finisher. So I don't know. I'm still trying to work this deck as well. I just want to make this like pretty competitive.
What I wouldn't do is add more expensive spells. Like I can see the 2 Mind Funerals as like the top end kinda, but I probably wouldn't try to put more expensive spells into it.
Like more 2 drops, if anything.
Yeah, I'm already like the draw on the log already make me feel like so and so. They're probably good enough because they're probably good. They're just like so clunky in the sense that we like the worst scenarios where we keep them open and then we don't get to use them when we could have done something else. And
I could see like the enforcer, the Guild Enforcer, against combo decks that's not going to be good at all. But at least the Drown on the Lock we can utilize the counter aspect of the Drown on the Lock. So like,
yeah, that's true. That gives us more counter magic.
I thought we should have about like maybe 9, 10. What do we have? 4 and 3. We have 7 now, which seems a little light on the counter because we want to be able to get into like the 3rd and 4th turn without being like almost dead.
Yeah, I think at that point we're looking at stuff like Flusterstorm though in the sideboard, so we can counter like their discard and then still have our forces available.
But I do like the Drown and Locks better than the Fatal Pushes, just from what we saw from the last games. We usually had enough mana when we were Fatal Pushing to spend the extra mana for the Drown in the Lock, and that would have opened up what we could hit.
That's true. What I liked about the about the Fatal Pushers was that we could play them very easily around days, and Drown the Lock is a little bit harder to make work with regards to that. So it's a trade-off, right? We get to hit. The thing is, like about Drown the Lock, we probably won't be able to hit Hooting Mandrills. I guess we get to hit Hooting Mandrills if you mill them for other stuff. It's like we probably don't get to hit a quick Hooting Mandrills, but that's probably
like you just need 1 mill spell, and it basically engages it for almost every creature, other than like Eldrazi.
Basically, overall, I want those 2 slots to mill my opponent. That's basically where I'm stuck at. I want a counter spell that mills them for like 7. That's not happening, I know.
So I used to have just as like a quick 2 of was the 1 blue mill 2 draw card.
Thought
Scour. I used to have 2 of those in there. And actually, I played against a Dredge deck, which I won off of Thought Scour, and that was awesome.
Or because you milled them out with it. I like that because
they dredged everything and then they had 2 cards in deck, and I thought scoured, so that was great.
So if you ask me, it comes down to like these two. Like I could see playing this, I could see playing this. I really like the flash plus death touch on this, which means it dodges
the flash.
Like
I really want to surprise people with that. Like that was just basically like just, I was thinking of it as a fatal push plus a mill. For the most part, like, you know, I considered it like flying attackers, you know, whatever. I guess I wouldn't be able to stop that, but
well, we have Baleful Strix for flying attackers as well.
Yeah.
So the thing about this card is, like, if you look at this card, it's not legendary. It really wants to be played as a 4-off, and then I could very much see Bitter Blossom in the sideboard. Like if we ever get to a point where we play this as a 4-off, and then we play Bitter Blossoms in the sideboard, dude, that's awful.
And they're milling 8, you know, 6 or 8 a turn, or 4 or 8. Yeah.
Yeah.
And we're continuously getting blockers.
Yeah. So that's something I would imagine to do with this. And then, yeah, the Draw on the Lock or the Thief Skilled Enforcer, I really could see both. If you want to go really hard on it, you could go basically take out the 2 last Scheming Symmetries and go really hard on just 4 copies of either Guild Enforcer or 2 Draw on the Lock plus 2 something else. And that's gonna be a line. Like, I can see Scheming Symmetry. I don't really feel like it's a sideboard card, but it could be enabled against certain kind of decks where
like
we know we can just pull it off. Or maybe even like a 2 or 3 off, if you have the slots, just because against certain decks that don't
fetch
like,
or not
just let's...
Yeah, not fetch, but that don't have the counter magic to really stop that. Because I just feel like, you know, if we're doing that plan and then it gets countered, it's just like
exactly.
You know, it's like a natural order getting countered.
Yeah, exactly. It's a really bad feeling when that happens. So I could see it being like as a turbo mill plan against like combo decks that don't protect themselves very well, even though there's few left where that actually works. So I'm as much as I like this early on, maybe this is not good enough. And like then if you take those out, I don't know, sideboard or totally out, then we could actually play. Man, I really like this card.
You know, I like that the symmetry does some really interesting things, but the fact that it depends on a cantrip, like that really kind of slows it down, where I feel like the archive trap should be able to function just off fetch lands or entombs or
and then if they are really turned off, we can always brainstorm them away or pitch them to force at the very least. So I guess that's that.
Yeah, I do like this the symmetry because it can make some cool stuff, but
yeah. So let's like look at this, and then I would be down for 4 Thieves Guild Enforcer just because like when I try something new, I try to go over the top with it just to get a feeling for it, and then if I feel like if it's not good enough when I go over the top with it, then it might not be good enough in the first place. Maybe then I'm probably gonna try like 2 or 3. But I really like the Bitter Blossom plan as well. I don't know, maybe that's too many moving pieces, but that's so cool.
But I feel like since there's so low mana, it shouldn't be hard to really make work.
That's the thing, that like creatures that my opponent wants to kill that cost 1 mana are so inconvenient for the opponent.
Yeah.
Because oftentimes they're like trading down or something.
They take a whole turn just to take it out.
Yeah. Dude, I could even see like the Bitter Blossoms in the main if we do this. But that's probably like too much. Yeah. So yeah, this is what I toy around with. Could definitely see the Draw the Locks.
Like if you just take out all the Thieves Guild versus any like combo deck and just bring in like the Forces, maybe Leyline of the Voids, just anything kind of stop a fast combo.
I think against combo decks, I would actually probably keep this Thieves Guild Enforcer just because we can very quickly turn them into a 2/3, and then there's a good chance that we just raise them.
True.
Like if you get 2 of those down, that's 6 power, and they won't be having removal. And if you get like 2 of those, that can also be like a rather it's not gonna be a rather quick kill against combo decks
like
because
you want to
bring in Bitter Blossom.
Yeah, it's kind of like a on 2 fronts kind of attack.
But we would take out like Baleful Strixes against combo decks, and then depending on which kind of combo decks, maybe Archive Traps. Against most of them, we can probably keep it. And then maybe Mind Funerals if it's like really fast combo, and then figure it out from there.
Yeah, we'll have to look at this again. I have a lesson I need to teach, so maybe like.
Oh, you told me, yeah.
Maybe next month we'll do a revision on this. I do want to get to elves at some point, but I'm really interested in how to make this work, because this deck just really like kind of interests me a lot. Like it's just something a little bit different.
Yeah. Oh man, and then the crabs are gonna come in. Maybe.
Yeah, that'll be fun. When those come out, when those come in, that'll be really cool.
Maybe we're just gonna go all 1-mana mill spells, like crabs, thieves. Like, imagine if the crab was... Imagine if they printed like a crab rogue.
Oh man, that'd be the end.
One-time wizards. One time.
All the mind
okay, so... Thanks so much for joining me tonight, man. You're gonna go for your lesson, you said, right? So, if people have any questions about Mill, where are you on social media? Are you open to talk about Mill, or are you more like, oh, I'm gonna figure this out on my own?
Yeah, give us some suggestions, because I think like this is like a wide open kind of strategy, like not like the combo mill, but just like the blue-black long plan counter / prison / whatever mill, mid-range mill. I feel like there's a lot of improvements that people can really figure out a lot of cool stuff here, and it's a fun deck to play, especially in person.
So Kevin, thank you so much.
All the opponents like they desperately like look at their deck and see how much they have left, and you can see the desperation in people's eyes when they start having 10 cards left. It's fun.
When we almost stopped the guy from going 5-0. He was like so close to losing to us.
Oh yeah.
Awesome. So yeah, I think we're gonna call it a day here. Man, it's so hot in here. Like who am I turning to? Like you're in California, right? That's like way hotter.
It's not too hot now. It's very cloudy. We have all the fires going on right now. So the clouds, the sky is all orange. Yeah, we have a lot of ash.
Is it actually as orange as you see in those pictures that people post on Twitter?
It's pretty orange, yeah.
Whoa. So stay safe, man.
I can't see the sun. Yeah, it's all orange. All right, until next time.
See you. Bye-bye. Thank you.
Bye. Thanks.
So yeah, that was Mill for today. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I'm looking at this card now. I'm really getting the hang of this. Just because like the extra death touch and stuff, and maybe you can work the way for like this is death touch Mill. I want to make this work. But for now, I'm actually gonna call it a day 2. I'm gonna tune out and I'm gonna send you over to... Well, who's actually